What is going on, everyone? Mets Talk with Hayden J here. I hope everyone is doing extremely well. I am most certainly doing well today. Audio sounds pretty crystal clear, so I like that. I am very happy. But we are back-to-back nights on the channel where we are going to be watching a New York Mets ball game. I know a lot of you guys have been asking per popular demand. I've been getting DMs on Twitter, comments on my live stream saying, Hayden, why don't you do, the game streams? And we are back doing the game streams. I'm going to try to do as many as I can. I'm not going to spoil how many there are, but I think you guys will be pretty satisfied. Last night I did a stream with Talking Mets with Rob, and now we are doing a stream with the best Mets fan in town.
Oh, yes.
Chatterbox, my boy Christian. So this is Christian's Mets Talk with Hayden debut on the channel. There's only a few things in life that matter. There's money, and there's being associated with Mets Talk with Hayden. And Christian now is associated with me. So, Christian, what's going on? If you want a quick little introduction, the floor is yours.
Yeah, well, thank you for finally having me on. Sorry, my phone's going off. Thank you for finally having me on, old sport. It's been a long time coming. We've met in person before. We've gone to cities before. You've been on my channel multiple times, and yet I am finally making my debut, and I feel vindicated. Let's go. I'm excited to be here on the channel watching the Mets try to straighten things out against the struggling Cincinnati Reds. So I think they'll have a good shot of doing that here tonight. Former Tiger JV is on the bump. Had a rough outing back my side of town in Detroit. I was at that game, by the way. It was a great game from a Tiger standpoint. Not a great game if you're a Mets fan, but we'll see if he can turn things around as a second start here down in Cincy.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely check out MLB Chatterbox. Just go into the search bar, type that in. And does all baseball content. Has a great hat collection. Very knowledgeable guy. Trust me, I don't recommend people who I don't think are knowledgeable. So definitely check him out. He will be on with us for probably the next 2-3 hours, depending on how long this game goes. I am going to attempt to do what kind of went on in the stream last night. I'm going to pull on ESPN Game Day, because my MLB Game Day doesn't work on my laptop. I don't know why, but it's the same thing. And I'm going to have the audio on my computer right here, which I have the game on MLB TV. So I'm going to, kind of test it out. Let me know if it's too loud, if it's too low, if it's, kind of annoying, if it's going in and out. But obviously tonight we will not have Gary Cohen announcing, because, he only gets paid to talk. We will be having Steve Gelbs side by side with Jerry Blevins, and of course, one guy in the booth who we are familiar with, in Keith Hernandez. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I see we got a baker's dozen people in the chat, so tip the cap to you guys for tuning in. I appreciate that. Quickly, let's go over this New York Metropolitans lineup. Definitely an interesting lineup that we can examine today. Obviously, last night things did not go very smoothly, and the Mets are going to correspond with that. Obviously, batting first in the leadoff spot, the New York Mets will have the center fielder Brandon Nimmo swinging a hot bat. So hopefully he can continue to keep up with that. Batting second, we do have some changes, and we will be seeing Francisco Lindor batting second. This is something that is a little bit unique, something that Buck Showalter's trying to change this lineup around. He's no longer putting him behind Pete or in front of Pete. He's putting him 2 spots in advance of the cleanup hitters. So Showalter is very frustrated with this lineup, so he's really making some changes. I will put the lineup on the screen so you guys can see it. Awesome. You can kind of see some of a glimpse of it. Obviously,
real quick, if I'm on that streaming site, they'll show that, right? The game?
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously, coming in batting third, another unique guy who's moving up in the order is Jeff McNeil. Kind of something I feel a little bit interesting about. Personally, I like McNeil's numbers batting behind Alonso. But you know what? He's a table setter, and unfortunately, a lot of guys in this lineup aren't producing, so you have to move McNeil up in order to make some success. Batting fourth, the cleanup hitter, Pete Alonso. He has been lately hitting pretty well, as of last night, so hopefully can continue that. Batting fifth, we have Brett Beatty, a move that Buck has made with no hesitation. He's arguably one of the best hitters on this ball club right now. Gorgeous swing, spreads the ball up the gap. Phenomenal hitter. So Buck is putting him behind Alonso, and he's a threat. He's a guy that, opposing pitchers, they say, oh, well, Pete's gone. He's on. Okay, no more worrying. You got to worry with Beatty. He's a very advanced hitter. Batting sixth, the New York Mets will have Starling Marte, a guy who has desperately been slumping. You hope he could wake up. Batting seventh, Daniel Vogelbach. Batting eighth, Luis Guillorme. Not thrilled with that, but it is what it is. And then batting ninth, Francisco Alvarez, who had 2 home runs last night and got on base 3 times last night. So Alvarez, once again, is also swinging a very hot bat. So you hope that this New York Mets team can continue to come out and grind today. As stated, you will have the former Tiger and former Houston Astro World Series champion and Justin Verlander making his second start of the season. And, of course, of the New York Mets. Against Hunter Green, and this will be Hunter Green's typical outing for Hunter Green, as he's made plenty of starts so far this season. So we were going to see how Hunter Green fares coming into this game. Obviously, Hunter Green is a guy who throws a lot of velo, and he throws the ball pretty hard. This is a guy who's capable of throwing 100, 101 miles per hour. So we're really just going to have to go on and see, can this Mets team hit him? Can they have great plate discipline? And before we get started, the game is about to start. Christian, do you have any final words before the first pitch is thrown?
No, I'm really anxious to see what the Mets can do against the Reds. This really should be a steamroll type of game. They just steamroll over these Cincinnati Reds. They're not doing well in their division. Obviously, pretty far back in the standings in the NL Central, and this is a game the Mets they have to win. I believe. I think they lost this game 2 or game 3 of the series. I believe it's game 2, correct?
They've been losing like 3 series in a row. So this is definitely time. Win today, and you can go for the split game tomorrow. So that's right. Hopefully what we could do. But let's get on to this game. The first pitch from Brandon Nimmo. I'm going to put the audio on. Hopefully this works.
Nimmo takes strike 1.
Tell me, is that good volume?
0 for 4.
Yeah, that's good.
Covered by a pitch and scored a run. Brandon has been struggling a little bit, like a lot of the players in this lineup right now. I mean, there's plenty, I don't want to say blame, but plenty of reasons why this club has been a funk.
He said basically a 2-pitch pitcher, and I think his third pitch of the game was the 5% changeup that he mixes in probably 4 times a game.
And he uses that fastball.
So Nimmo striking out there, chasing a little bit out of the zone. Something that we haven't seen a whole lot from Nimmo so far this season. So high fastball there, and Nimmo goes down swinging. 1 away.
Throws hard and over the top. Nolan Ryan comes to mind. You've got to make him get that fastball down. It looks good at the letters, but it gets above the letters. You can't catch up.
And you see that note, the highest average fastball velocity amongst starters in Major League Baseball, just a tick above Jacob deGrom. In velocity, yes. I'd say I would say that deGrom's a few ticks above him. Again, he's only 23. He's got a bright future ahead of him, but not quite on that level.
Buck Showalter back in the Mets dugout after his first ejection as a Mets manager last night. Lindor spoils that 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
So, yeah, I mean, we're coming out seeing the Mets are doing a lot of swinging, fouling a lot of pitches off. And, I guess that's good to an extent to drive up, Green's pitch count. But constantly we've been seeing with this team is they always get behind in the count. And they need to start grinding and getting the counts in their favor.
Motion down, and that's a tip-off to a hitter. A lot of hitters love Great American Ballpark.
Francisco Lindor certainly one of them.
Literally cannot see the game.
An OPS over 1,018 career games here. Went 2 for 5 last night with a home run. Just saw a shot of Max Scherzer. Getting better day by day. Will not be ready for tomorrow, though.
Well, there was hope that he might come and be ready for Thursday, but I think they are.
Christian, you were able to get the game working for you?
No.
No. Try MLB 66, like on your phone, on your laptop. Like make a side tab.
Right. So I went to MLB 66.
Hold on, I missed strike 3, so
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like it's not like
Try Sports Surge, MLB 66. If anyone, yeah. So Lindor goes striking out there. Strike 3, a pitch in the dirt for Lindor.
Let's see.
So 2 away. Here comes Jeff McNeil up at bat. McNeil swinging first pitch, fouls that one off. I don't like this. I want to use. Oh, Philly's got some action going on.
Why is it saying the game's finished? 6:40.
Yeah, you have to go to today because that was yesterday. Go to today's.
Oh, okay.
McNeil takes that pitch just outside, 1-1 count ball. Justin Verlander's getting ready to work up in the count. Stoney, what's going on? Yeah, Stoney, definitely check out my friend Christian, MLB Chatterbox. Very, very knowledgeable guy. Strongly recommend you check him out. Definitely like him. Him and I are very alike. So check him out.
When I go to the stream search, I got like in progress. So then like, what do I click? The number 1 stream. Just click it, and then it should be. Please wait.
Yeah, that could work. What are you on right now? MLB Sports Surge?
Yeah.
Okay, so go to Sports Surge. You go to baseball.
Yeah.
Right. You scroll down to Mets and Reds. You go to watch, and Jeff McNeil goes striking out there. So that is a 1-2-3 inning for the Mets. Sorry about this, guys. So go to the Mets and Reds. You could click on any stream. Crack streams, Buff streams, Mets streams, Top streams, MLB. You click on any of those, and you have to click. You have to go back to the tab. It's going to open up new tabs, but go back to the old tab.
So I see like MLB. Okay, I see Mets versus Reds, and then I see the MLB logo, and I see it saying live. So I click on the live and the arrow.
What are you on?
Sports Surge.
You see Reds at Mets, and it shows like a little baseball, and it says watch.
I see Reds and Mets. I see the MLB logo, and I see a live, but then I click on it, and then it gives me like a bunch of like. I don't see what you're seeing. You might have to share the screen.
I'm not. I appreciate you, Stoney. Try MLB 66. Go to MLB66.com.
Okay.
Because that's a good one. They got good stuff on there.
5. Wait, how do I go to like the dates? Wait.
Yeah, MLB 66.
Okay.
And then it's gonna bring you to the Tigers and Guardians from yesterday. You just have to keep scrolling down till you go to 5:10 and you see the Mets game. And
and then do I click on it?
Yeah, click on the Mets logo or the Reds logo, and it'll bring you to the game. It may take a couple seconds to load, but yeah, if not, then you may just have to listen. I don't know. It may be on MLB Network.
No, I went to MLB Network and it's not on.
Or if you just want to go to game day, it's probably the same thing as on this, honestly.
This is not working. Wait, let's go to select games. Hold on, let's see.
Verlander
So I'm going to put this back on. So Justin Verlander coming in, getting ready to make his second start on the season. We will see what Verlander has in store today. So first pitch,
9 pitches in that initial outing on Thursday
way high
in Detroit. Gave up those 2 solo shots in the first inning, and then after that was lights out.
Is there a way that you could share the
India laces one into left field.
What?
Is there a way you could share the screen what you're seeing if you just shut off the audio?
because I'm on my computer. So India takes one hit already.
Defense. Guillorme at second base.
Yeah, I think you'll just have to listen to the audio then, man. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
He's got a great glove at second base. You Met fans know that. McNeil, he doesn't hurt you anywhere you play him. I mean, he can play left, he can play right, he can play second, and all extremely well.
Oh, I got it on my phone.
Friedel coming off a nice night last night. 2 for 4, a triple, 2 runs scored, a couple of ribbies. Friedel hitting .325 now this season for the Reds. It's been an absolute revelation.
Hopefully they could win, Lane.
Okay, now I can actually start talking. My apologies. I had trouble to get this game. Bottom first man on for the Redlegs.
Take strike 1.
Verlander, all right.
There.
Mine's going to be really behind, but that's okay.
Verlander seems to be trying to find his footing on the game mound. Once he gets settled in, feels secure. I think we'll start seeing him pitching. You can take advantage of a guy that wants to the ball in. You can push it in off and get a nice ground ball. This is a perfect time for a double play.
I tell you what, Hayden. I gotta say that when I was doing a
The Cincinnati
video
Reds
on
are the
the
only
other day,
that Justin Verlander
numbers regarding the New York Mets and their pitching staff.
all 29 other teams.
It's eye popping when you're comparing them to the Oakland Athletics, a team that doesn't have a starting pitcher who has a win on the season. I don't think so. Yet. That's not good. So
Right.
I'm going to share those numbers with you.
The ERA in those 2 starts.
Take a look.
So obviously Verlander, 2-2 count here. 1 on, no outs. Verlander hoping to get an out here would be nice.
Swung on a missed strike 3. Verlander, it's out number 1. TJ Friedel down swinging. Changeup.
That looked like a great changeup. Throwing that fastball top of the zone. It comes in. It's a little slider. Tried to back foot it, turned it, ended up being backdoor.
I think it
So through Sunday, here was this. This was from an article, I believe, from MLB.com, where it says that through Sunday, the Mets have the second lowest amount of innings
It's funny.
out of their starting pitchers at 170 and 1/3 innings. This is according to Fangraphs. Not to mention, the same was true when it came to home runs. Only the Oakland A's. This is where the Oakland A's come in. Only the A's rotation has given up more home runs at a higher rate than the New York Mets this season at 1.90 per 9 innings. Not to mention, their walk rate is 4.6, and their team ERA, when this was published, was over 5.5. I believe that was for their starting rotation, that ERA combined.
Fastball.
That's just when you invest, upon millions of dollars into your starting rotation and coming into the season, that was supposed to be your strong suit. That's not a good sign. I mean, I know Max Scherzer had his deal with sticky stuff and everything, and Verlander's just coming back. But
takes off
the amount of money this Mets team spends, particularly on their starting rotation, is alarming to hear those numbers.
Lead. Steer. Fly ball, left field. McNeil has room, makes the play.
Deep hit there. McNeil able to track it down.
In that gap in left center field. The other gap in right center field, where the wind kind of blows out, is only 370. That's 2 feet more than Wrigley Field.
Only his teammate Max Scherzer has more strikeouts than Verlander. How about that?
And looked for the wind where the flags were blowing.
What do you think you'd hit in this ballpark, Keith?
Oh, I wouldn't have to change anything. I would hit more home runs because it's a smaller park.
So we are a little bit familiar with this ballpark.
Speaking of left-handers,
and that is
top of the wall.
Off the top of the wall. How about that? Extra bases. India coming around.
From Guillorme, not in time. And Fraley makes his way into third on the throw. And just like that, the Mets down 1-0.
Well, Verlander is notorious for having a bad first inning. This is back in Detroit. So, this is a Reds team that doesn't have great pitching aside from – well, it's Green tonight, though, right? It's Green going for the Reds?
Yeah. This is once again, you see constantly, and when we talked about it yesterday, this pitching staff constantly, always just seems to always knock it out of 2-out situations. You've seen it where yesterday, Peterson, 2 outs, gives up a hit. This team can knock it out of situations with 2 outs. And you've seen it again. You've seen it last night.
For him to throw and went to third. That's how you do it.
It's kind of an awkward exchange there between Alvarez and Verlander. He still hasn't found that slider. We talked about the backdoor slider to Friedel that got him. The first one he threw to Stevenson backed up a little bit too, so he hasn't found that release point quite yet.
In the dirt, count 2-1. The Mets have only scored first 15 times this season. That's tied for the 5th fewest in the majors. When they do score first, they're 13-2, the 2nd best winning percentage in Major League Baseball. It just doesn't happen nearly enough.
Well, they were a team last year that got out in front and scored early.
Here's the 2-1. Low.
There's that good one. Downward movement late. That will play all day long.
He's got a good down slider. There's no question about that.
All that talk about the sweepers nowadays moving horizontally, that's the hot pitch. He's definitely an old school, old-fashioned, hard, downward-moving slider.
When you're thrown over the top, it's hard to throw a sweeper.
Absolutely.
He comes way over the top.
Ottavino is perfect his release. 3/4, almost sidearm for the sweeper.
To be able to come through that ball properly, definitely. He would have to change mechanically to get that, but
that would be a tip-off.
Correct.
And Verlander misses, so Tyler Stevenson on with the first walk of the day for the Reds.
Got the force out set up,
First
but
and
you know,
third here,
not
the
what you want
first.
to do for JV.
Well, that's the one thing you found out when you got into pro baseball and you advanced up in the minor leagues.
Again, people got to realize for Mets fans who are not
Fastball,
as familiar with Justin Verlander and how the starts typically go, first innings are not his strong. Typically, he has a rough first inning,
minor
whether
leagues.
it's
when you
having
can
men on base, whether
pitch
it's
is
giving
coming
up
just
a
by
run
how
or two.
it's released, that is
And after the first, he usually settles down. And this was a
Senzel the batter.
game in Detroit
Got
and
him
in
as
Houston.
strike one. Senzel went 2 for 5 last night.
Historically, he's
A
just been
double, an
rough
RBI.
from the first, and then after the
For the
first, he
run.
pretty much settles down. I mean, that happened in Detroit. I mean, look at the game in Detroit about a week or so ago. I mean, the first inning, a couple innings, he was rough,
Back.
and then after that, he went 5 and
It's kind of cliche.
did not give up a single run.
Such
So
an
if
ace
you're a
like
Mets
Justin
fan right
Verlander,
here,
you get to a guy
you
like
just
this
gotta keep that in
early.
mind.
You don't want him to get settled
again,
in.
one-
His
it's only
arms
one
are
run, you
going
got
up in
another 2
95 on
count.
the fastball before where he was 91,
So-
92, 93. You want to get to him early because he hasn't settled in and get
Probably
that
for the
sweat
curve here.
going.
No, high fastball.
Francisco Alvarez catches Tyler
Oh,
Stevenson.
got him. How about that?
Went halfway.
So
No
the Mets,
interference this time, Hayden.
Mets get out of that, obviously. Nice throw by Francisco Alvarez to get Tyler Stevenson. Kind of looked a little lost and confused running to second. Maybe they were trying to do the double steal, 2 outs, runner on third, runner trying to go to second. Alvarez, very aware catcher, and that's what you like. But once again, Verlander giving up 2 hits and a run in this first inning. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it 1,000 times. I mean, you guys should record this at 25-23. The Mets pitching staff constantly gives up runs with situations when it's 2 outs. This team cannot get out of innings and not ever be bailed out. It's always runners on second, runners on third, runners on the corners, 2 outs, and they just can't get the momentum, and they just can't get that out. And I don't know what the situation is. So, hopefully Verlander can, pitch counts a little high. He can hopefully keep that good. We'll see what Alonso, Beatty, and Marte could do. Otherwise, quickly, Christian, do you have any thoughts before we put back on the audio?
Like I just said, again, the first inning for Verlander historically always rough. He's done that in Detroit. He's done that in Houston. For Mets fans, you guys will experience outings like these. I mean, he can have a rough first inning, and then after the first, he'll be dominant. He'll shut down an offense. He'll give up one hit through like 5 innings or 6 innings after the first inning, and he'll give you a quality win type of start. But the first inning has always been rough for Justin Verlander. And I guess that's what just Mets fans kind of might have to get used to, unfortunately. But again, I would take a rough first and for a dominant next, 5 or 6. So that's what you got to think about if you're a Mets fan. And hey, you have an offense that should be able to put up more than 3 runs against the Cincinnati Reds team. So it can't all be Justin Verlander. You don't want him to go out there. He doesn't need to throw a no-hitter every time he's out there. He doesn't need to end the game with like 12, 15 strikeouts. So
absolutely. So we will go back to the audio, and then Christian and I will be back here momentarily, probably quick because the Mets are going to have a quick inning. So Christian and I will be back.
Stolen base go, but the runner should have gotten the rundown.
Pete Alonso, high, back, gone. Tie ball game.
Oh my God,
baby!
No, why?
Okay, pausing it, everyone. I score Pete Alonso with the home run. I'd like to make a special announcement. I have done 4 live streams on the channel, and Pete Alonso has hit 4 home runs in all those games. I think we should have a moment of silence. Okay, back to the game, everyone.
Oh man, that was. You know what? For the record, I was gonna say I think he'll hit a home run. For the record, I think that's where we're sitting in Cincinnati too.
Hey, don't hit Beatty like that.
Oh shit! You hit him? See, mine's so far behind. Wow.
Always.
Well, that's what comes with being a Met.
Also,
Home runs and hit by pitches.
now back in the major league lead with his 13th home run of the season.
In the 37th game.
Pretty good pace. Here's Starling Marte batting in the 6th spot in the lineup for the 2nd straight day. First pitch swinging.
Really need to get Marte going here. And it's odd that, every year's different. I mean, he got off to a slow start last year, but he got off on that first road trip opened up in Miami. He had a great road trip, swung the bat great, and then came home and just slump settled in. He really hasn't found it since that first road trip.
Yeah, he had 2 hits last night, but one of them was that infield hit. First multi-hit game for him, though, since April 22nd back in San Francisco. Here's Vogelbach. Vogelbach 0 for 2 last night, worked a couple of walks, as he does. Takes that pitch low.
Well, this was the bugaboo for young Green last year. He gave up 1.7 home runs per 9 innings in 24 starts, 24 home runs.
It's got to be in the same way we talk about in Colorado, the mental hurdle for these pitchers. Got to have something similar when your home ball.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Vogelbach right now is
it definitely plays a factor.
He's not hitting for power. He's not pulling the ball. The Mets are relying on him way too much to be an OBP guy, and that's not what he's known for. He's not a threat on the base paths.
To go out
but
to this right field
18 people in the chat. Appreciate it.
Power stuff like Hunter Green does. It doesn't matter what ballpark it is because your stuff plays.
And it's only 325 down the right field line. Is that what it is? And they probably should have made it 340 with the jet stream going out to right. And certainly should have made it 380 in the gap to fair it up a little bit.
Where were you when I was playing? Never building that, Steve. I agree.
Here's the 2-2. Foul. I loved what you said last night. I had never, Keith, have you ever heard Great American Small Park?
No.
It plays
That's
small.
pretty good.
It's especially in right field when you're shagging BP and the guys are hitting and you're seeing all the lefties go like 2/3 of the way up in the stands. You're like, something's wrong here.
You know who they made that right field for? Mr. Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, well, they didn't think about the pitchers, did they?
No. As my favorite player of all time, Ken Griffey Jr., he can have it. I accept it now.
Does he need it?
He did not need that help. That's a fact.
No, he was a very, very great player. Unbelievable player. I remember when Ken Griffey, as senior, his father was bringing him his little kid at Riverfront Stadium when we were playing the Reds.
Vogelback. Ground ball base hit into right field. Beatty thinks about going to third, but holds up at second, and the Mets have something working here. First and second, one out.
We're
grinding. We're grinding.
Hand here. Stays back. Slider, not much. Out in front, but kept his hands back. So I think we're seeing on Green right here just a little inconsistency with his breaking ball.
Luis Guillorme, first pitch swinging into left field. Nice grab by Jake Fraley, and the runners will retreat back.
Man, I'm really far behind.
Yeah, he just can't catch a break. They had him defended perfectly. And that's just a nice play.
Yeah, I agree with you. Guillorme is not an everyday player. I don't know why. Right.
And here comes the kid, Francisco Alvarez. 2 for 4 last night, 2 home runs.
I'm calling it home run.
8
I'm
now
calling it home run.
for the last 9 games.
Why not? Home run. Center field.
Wouldn't hang that breaking ball in the middle against this one, way he's feeling.
Well, the first inning, he was on top of it. It was breaking down, and now he's kind of flattening it out.
Swing at that.
Strike 2.
That was a much better one. He got to that release point. You said it. He stays on top of it. You can see the depth and where it ends up moving to his glove side, away from a righty.
You get the down tilt, too. A little bit of that downward tilt. You got a guy throwing 98 miles an hour and you throw 3 straight sliders. I don't get it.
Well, what does that show you about his thoughts on Alvarez right now?
I just think it's how the pitching is today.
Yeah.
Become a breaking ball league.
Sure has.
Well, if you look at the numbers on his fastball versus his slider, you'll understand why he does it.
There's the fastball.
I think they hit 140 off of his slider, and they're hitting near 300, I believe, off of his fastball, and definitely slugging way higher off of the fastball.
Location.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he gave away that pitch right there.
Yeah, he's still feeling. You see him. Keith said something about he's dropping on the side of the ball, and that's the truth there. He's trying to make it do too much, thinking about it too much, instead of trusting his release. He's telegraphing it.
So the runners will get a head start. Full count, 2 outs. Alvarez, ground ball. Jose Barrero makes the play and retires the side, but not before the Mets.
So the Mets, obviously, Pete Alonso comes back, his 13th home run on the season. First pitch swinging, pimped that one to left field. The left fielder didn't even bother to go past it. He just turned around and watched that one sail. Obviously, Beatty gets hit by a pitch. Vogelbach gets a hit. And then, Guillorme, of course, the rally killer, and everyone's ranting on him, which I don't blame you, comes in and kind of puts the Mets in an L position. Alvarez with a good at bat, fights back from 0-2, gets the full count, but swung at a pitch, just couldn't get it. But Mets tied it up going into the second inning, bottom of the second, and we'll see what JV can get. Christian, any takeaways from that inning, Alonso? Or
I mean, as much as I am not as what's the word? Not as enthusiastic about Alonso as you may be, I will have to admit he's doing pretty well. He's doing well. But again, it seems like the Mets offense is very reliant on like either Nimmo, Alonso, McNeil. McNeil's not a power guy, so you really only got 2 power bats. And I mean, Nimmo has some pop, I think, but you're really relying on like 1 power bat to do everything. And if the guys can't the guys in front of him can't get on, then it's only going to be 1 run. Now I know that he let off the inning in that scenario, but you like a guy Vogelback, he has to pick it up. Marte, that was not a great at bat. I mean, Alvarez showed some good discipline, going to 3-2, and what are you gonna do? But hey, you got the run back. It's tied, so you got Verlander on the bump, so you're feeling pretty confident that once again, first inning's over, so you're hoping that he can nail it down once again going into the second and give the Mets another chance to fight back and get ahead.
Absolutely. So first pitch from Verlander goes outside. We have a 1-0 count. Let's get into it.
The cleats and the glove today for Lindor.
Lindor's got the orange on, and Marte's got the pale orange, it looks like.
Much more up your alley. Those are the colors. Those are the Mets colors. Nick Senzel leading off here in the second against Verlander. Just off the plate, 2-1. Popped up, foul, and out of play.
Pete Alonso squared it up, even the game at 1-1, and Verlander would love to come out, throw a quick 1-2-3, get the offense back in it, put a shutdown inning.
Yeah, we talked about it in the open. Strike 3 called. Beautiful
Good pitch there.
On the outside corner.
Nice outside pitch there from Verlander. 1 away.
A perfect pitch. I think Senzel's looking breaking ball away. He hates it on the outside corner. Alvarez doing the things that he's known for.
It's an elite catcher's defense right there. Good frame by Alvarez.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes Will Myers after last night's controversy. But just to finish what I was saying, we spoke about it in the open. Well, the Mets are they're in dire need of a big outing from Verlander. Yes, obviously, production-wise, you want to limit as much damage as possible, but they need some length out of their starters. This bullpen needs a break.
There's no question about that. Buck in the meeting before yesterday's game said, gosh, I don't want to use that many by my bullpen. He had to use 4 relievers yesterday.
David Peterson going just 3 1/3 yesterday.
Ooh.
Mets starters just having so much difficulty right now getting 5th, getting out of the 4th sometimes, like we saw yesterday.
Well, Hunter and Leone are going to be the middle if it has to happen. Ottavino and Robertson are good to go. Smith, Buck probably wants to stay away from Smith. He threw 26 pitches yesterday.
But the ideal scenario here is Verlander.
Hand it off to Ottavino and Robertson. He's starting to paint that fastball. He's yet to find the range on his slider yet, but he's starting to hone in on his fastball.
Look at those numbers of the Mets rotation in total. 3rd lowest innings pitched in the majors. Here's the 3-2. Swung on it. Missed strike 3.
All right.
Verlander again with that fastball just blows it by.
Sit him down.
2 strikeouts here in the second.
That had a lot of plate. He just threw it by.
Just like you said, he's able to stay on top of that true four-seam backspin. It just stays above the bat, stays above the barrel.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. He just hasn't found it, like you said, with that proper slider to come off and that fastball as it should.
Oh, there's a good curve. Didn't get the call.
Good frame.
This is Henry Ramos, the designated hitter.
That'll get your attention first pitch, first at bat against a guy like this.
I don't think Henry Ramos saw Many pitchers like this for the majority of his career. A long time coming for him. A minor leaguer for 11 years before making his major league debut in September of 21.
There's that sharp slider. It was a good take, but that's the shape that he wants. That makes him so effective. To lefties, especially, to back foot that.
Ramos didn't go.
He's still struggling with his secondary pitches right now. And this is what happened when they jumped him in Detroit with the back-to-back home runs in the first inning. And then he found his rhythm in that third inning.
Goes back to that fastball. Ramos, nice diving stop by Guillorme. He makes the play. Inning over. 1, 2, 3.
All righty. Mets there with a quick inning. Verlander, 1, 2, 3. Gets 2 strikeouts and a nice ground out. Good layout there by defensive Guillorme. Mets, that's what you need from your pitchers. You need quick innings like that. Get those outs and then get the offense back to what is needed. Verlander, like, the announcement crew said, is struggling a little bit with the secondary pitches. Alvarez behind the plate is looking on point with his frames. Like I said, framing rate, the defensive metrics love Alvarez, and I mean we could absolutely see why. Arguably one of the best defensive catchers in baseball, and he's only 21 years old. So good. You really like Alvarez behind the plate. Verlander, he's looking pretty solid so far. Christian, any comments, thoughts on the inning?
No, I think Verlander did what he had to do. He had to come in, shut him down, get the boys back out there in the offense. I mean, I've noticed this. I mean, this is from watching him when he was in Detroit. When I'm saying that, I mean, I'm talking like back when he was with the Tigers. He used to rely heavily on the curveball. Now, since he got to Houston, it's been eliminated pretty much. I haven't seen him throw the hook out there a whole heck of a lot. He used to use that out pitch, if an 0-2 count, buckle the knees, but now he's going back to that slider. Obviously, he's trying to still find the feel for that pitch, as the broadcasters mentioned. But if he can command his off-speed pitches, the fastball is really effective. It's the high 90s, right? It's what you want to see from Verlander. Has he touched 100 yet this season?
I don't think he has.
No, don't think so. But the fastball will come for Verlander. I always thought Verlander was a very predictable pitcher, because it's pretty self-explanatory. It's like first pitch, pretty much fastball for the most part. He'll throw a couple sliders in there, maybe drop a curveball on you. And if you catch 0-2, he'll throw a fastball high. I don't understand why hitters, they just can't catch up to that pitch, high and above the chest there. So, but Verlander's doing what JV does. He's commanding the fastball, and his Aussie pitches are working.
All righty. So we will get back into it. Brandon Nimmo up at bat.
Michael Perez is up here now as the backup catcher. Nimmo goes the opposite way. He's got himself a base hit to lead off the third.
Nice little inside out from Brandon.
What are you got the game on your phone?
Yeah. I'm just behind, but yeah.
Did you see Nimmo get the hit or no?
Yeah, like just now.
Okay. On a tee.
Elite.
And Keith, you were saying
good to see Nimmo leading off. Let's see what Lindor and McNeil and Pete could do behind him.
When he wants to throw a get-me-over slider, because he hasn't got confidence, like the first inning he did. He came out of the chute throwing sliders like that, over the top, getting the down tilt. The big mistake that pitchers make is that they feel comfortable dropping their arm down, and they're able to command it better. But if the pitch loses one, two, it's crispness.
That is true, Cal. That is true.
Floats in, and it's easy to track for a hitter.
and you can see it coming too.
I can, out of the hand, I can see the different point. All I need is 6 inches, a foot difference. If you pay attention at home, when he throws a floater, sometimes he'll come. When he comes,
What's going on, JL?
he's done it in the second.
Our, I want to say fellow Braves fan.
I get the same view as you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but good to see you in here, man.
Throws a good one, and he comes down here. Just that.
Yeah, he is.
To throw the
He's looking good.
And that difference right there, a hitter can pick that up.
For you guys watching at home, and this is how I study.
That ball hits Nimmo,
Uh-oh. Get up.
and he's in a little bit of pain.
Get up.
Oh no! See, I'm so behind. I didn't even see what happened.
Get up.
Oh no!
Oh no, they're trying to assassinate our players.
Oh shit! Oh man, my favorite Met.
He'll be a black and blue. Suck it up. All right, he's good.
He's
He's good. He's good.
He's a gamer.
The view that the viewer has that you guys have at home, you can kind of mark where Hunter Green releases the ball based off background. And this is how we don't get these views when you're a player. You do get certain views from different, but you can mark where he's releasing the ball based on the background and kind of plot it to a point. And then when he throws another pitch, you can see
JL, yeah, I probably will stream the World Series. Yeah.
Live. The hitters looking for this thing see it like it's highlighted.
And usually when they drop down, they lower their arm speed too. They slow it down. And that's another Western Union.
Jeff McNeil on deck. Francisco Lindor worked a full count after falling behind 0-2.
Yeah, they are.
Nimmo leads off
Definitely
first.
showing more light.
Got to be disciplined.
And he goes. Lindor slices one right into the waiting mitts. He makes the easy double play.
So obviously Lindor, it was a hit and run, and Lindor hit it right to the shortstop.
That's a rough one.
I don't know. Was that a hit and run? Nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Nimmo and
yeah.
got confused, and that sucks. That 2 outs easily there, and leaves no one on for McNeil.
I've always loved the hit and run if you got guys that know how to handle the bat.
Speaking of guys that can handle the bat, first pitch swinging, McNeil signals into center field.
Maybe he's done the hit and run with McNeil instead of
Good for McNeil. So McNeil, nice hit there. So yeah, Mets were working this inning so far. Nimmo gets a hit. Lindor gets even in the count, and then unfortunately not able to get it done. McNeil gets hit with Big Meat Pete.
Tipping your pitches too.
Ooh, that was the pitch to hit.
When you slow down your windup because you want to baby a change up to make sure it's slower,
I think you'll go yard here.
pitches in a different way. It's not just how you hold the ball in your glove or whatever it may be.
Man, I'm so far behind.
Alonso taking hefty cuts.
100-mile-an-hour fastball. You're more apt if you've got a good fastball to get away with a pitch down the middle with your fastball as opposed to hanging a breaking ball down the middle.
Wow.
Come on, Pete. Good
And
eye.
we saw when Green hung that breaking ball to Alonso in the second, quickly went out. He started 3 straight fastballs here in this at-bat.
Well, let's see if he trusts it here because he had him set up, missing up and in here to get to that outside corner with a breaking ball.
Ooh.
But you can tell he doesn't trust it because he would go right to it there because Alonso isn't quite as willing to put his arms and his bat out there to go chase that on the other side of the plate, knowing that there could be 100 coming at your shoulder.
And he takes his time out.
So I don't know who's calling the game, whether it's the pitching coach or in the dugout or the catcher, but you got a young pitcher out there, and he's showing me he doesn't have faith in that fastball. He's got a blazer.
Ground ball, foul. Keith, what's showing you that he doesn't have faith in the fastball?
Well, Jerry said that, the batting averages, and a pitcher can see that and read it and go, but not say, hey, I got to locate that pitch better. That's an effective pitch.
Hello, neighbor.
Green there, losing a little of his commands.
Inside, three
inside pitches to Pete.
That wasn't really that close.
So Alonso, once again, back-to-back times, Lindor and Alonso working the count from 0-2. That's what you like to see. So we'll see. Alonso,
He's got a pitch.
what will Alonso do? Walk, strike out, or put the ball in play?
I say puts the ball in play. Single right field.
3-2. McNeil
Hopefully.
goes.
All right.
All 4. So Hunter Green.
So Alonso is able to walk for his second time on base today. Music to my ears. Yeah, obviously, unfortunate swing there by Lindor. They're having quick mound meetings, so just a little quick analysis. Nimmo gets on Lindor. I don't know if it was a hit and run, if Nimmo was trying to steal. Unfortunately, Lindor grounded out, double play, and McNeil got a hit. Alonso walk, and here comes Brett the Met Beatty, who has been very clutch. So we'll see what he can get done.
Brett Beatty up for the second time today. Was hit by a pitch in the second. Shallow right field.
Just under it.
Calls off Friedel. And
just got under that, Beatty, swinging first pitch. So once again, the Mets get runners in scoring position. And what do? As Alex says in the chat, they failed to hit with runners in scoring position once again. Obviously, that was a painful inning. Nimmo gets on with an opposite field hit. Lindor, I don't know if that was a hit and run. I don't know if that was just Nimmo stealing, because if Lindor strikes out, he's safe. But if he walks, he got 2 on. Obviously, hits a line drive, shortstop, boom, double play. McNeil gets a hit. Alonso gets a walk. That could have been bases loaded, easily 1 out with Beatty. So unfortunate there. They were not able to execute. But so far, the Mets are hitting the ball pretty well against Hunter Green. 4 hits, obviously, with the hit by pitch and walk. Obviously, Alonso has gotten on base twice today. McNeil, Nimmo. We will see how that goes. Any takeaways, Christian?
Not much. I mean, they was it a hit and run? Was it just a straight steal of Nimmo or of Nimmo there? If it wasn't hit and run, honestly, not a terrible idea. I mean, considering the odds of Green throwing a straight fastball there and that 3-2 count,
right?
That he could actually, and that Lindor could drive the ball. You would assume. I don't think that was a terrible decision by Buck, if that in fact was the plan to hit and run there. But that's just luck of the draw, But I don't mind the aggressiveness, to be honest, out of this Mets team. You got to produce something, especially when you got JV on the mound. You got to give him the lead, and especially when you're going up against one of the Reds' better starters. I mean, if the Reds get a lead, it's not a guarantee that you guys can get it back. So you got to capitalize early on Hunter Green and make something happen.
Absolutely, yeah. So here comes Verlander coming in for the bottom of the third.
This third inning of work, Jose Barrero, the 9th batter in this Reds lineup, leads off. Barrero hitting .226 this season with a .624 OPS. Just to give you an idea of the type of offensive player he is, those would be career highs for Barrero. Entered last season as the Reds' top prospect. Was known mostly for his glove, but has struggled a little bit defensively this season. The clock may be ticking on Barrero here with the Reds. Swings through that fastball.
As much trouble as Verlander has had with that breaking ball trying to find the release, his fastball's got life on it still.
I think that was maybe the most encouraging thing in that first start in Detroit. That fastball was a heavy fastball.
That is true, Gio.
Was right where he wanted it to be. Fly ball, right field.
Yeah, true.
Marte, 1 away. So you've been talking, Jerry, about how Verlander right now is still trying to find the shape with his breaking ball. What exactly do you mean by find the shape?
Well, if you think about it, when you're watching, once the pitcher releases it all the way to home plate, think about the ball drawing something, leaving a trail behind. And for Verlander, his slider wants to come in and then sharply drop away. So leaving the mark.
Captain Morgan, I think it was just a promotion, but
right now it's a little bit.
Obviously everyone really seems to like Chavez in that role.
Has that lazy rounded edge to the shape. Well, he wants that sharp corner to be able to dot in.
India, fly ball center field. Nimmo right there. 2 quick outs. So how do you look for that shape? If you're trying to find it midstream here, what are you doing? Is it more arm action? Is it more something you're doing with your wrist? How do you try and find that perfect shape?
Well, I mean, in the easiest way, it's about how it comes out of your hand. It's getting to your release point, out all the way to extension, and getting that sharp, staying on top of the ball and driving through it.
Well, I'm really behind.
Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets.
Thanks.
Ooh, that was
TJ Friedel takes ball 2.
You can tell with his body language, the way he's kind of shaking his head at himself. He's still out there searching. He's had such a time off. Even a future Hall of Famer, even one of the greatest pitchers of the generation.
No, that is true, and that's something we've seen a lot this year. I mean, Alvarez had 2 solo shots. Alonso had one yesterday, had another one today.
Gets a
Generous
fastball
call.
strike.
Could be frustrating for even the best of them.
I know this might sound funny, but do you work on it a little more in a situation like this, 2 out, nobody on?
Well, a little bit of yes and no.
Friedel, ground ball foul.
Because he knows he's struggling with something, he can make sure that he throws it at the bottom of the zone and lets it break out and down to where it doesn't have the ability to get driven out of the ballpark. He can mess with it and feel it when he's able to throw it ahead of the count. But he's just trying to get outs here. It's a tie ball game. He's trying to get a chance to win.
And he's doing a pretty good job of getting outs right now as Marte called up by Nimmo. 6 in a row retired for Justin Verlander.
So, yeah, Verlander, once again, another 1-2-3 innings, 6 in a row, retired for JV. Like Christian said, first inning, always just has hard times in the first inning and then settles in. He's looking good so far. He's keeping that pitch count low. Not a whole lot of hard contact. Otherwise, he's getting the ball on the ground, getting light fly ball outs and striking out batters. And now we're going to see if the lineup can contribute to this, obviously. Like Trey is asking, what's the issue right now, the offense or pitching? Well, it really seems that, when this team has a good pitching performance from whoever, the offense falls asleep, and then vice versa. So it's really frustrating to see. You hope the Mets can really try and figure something out right now. But, essentially we're going to have to see how things go on from here with this Mets ball club. When it comes to the whole Eric Chavez situation, obviously he was promoted to the bench coach. We currently have Jeremy Barnes. I think depending on how the next week goes, the Mets may release Jeremy Barnes from his employment role in the hitting coach. And, do you possibly see it where Eric Chavez gets quote unquote demoted to hitting coach? I think that would probably be a benefit, considering that the Mets really had a connection with Eric Chavez. He had that simple approach of line drive mentality. And now the Mets approach is just, slap the ball and small ball. And it's not working for them. I think this is a good line drive team. You have the guys, Alonso, Lindor, Beatty, Marte, Canna, Alvarez, and you have your slap hitters and Nemo and McNeil. So, we'll see how things go with that.
Yeah, they're built on power for sure. I mean, you can't, like you always say, you tell me hundreds of times that, in this day and age, you got to hit the home run to have the upper hand. And the Mets, they're just not doing that right now. And you need to have the power guys hit for power. And aside from Alonso, ain't nobody else doing that on this team. So, maybe they, like you say, Chavez will come in as a hitting coach again and things will turn around. But again, if he's still a coach, I don't know why it should be different. If he's a hitting coach versus not, you think if the guys like him as a hitting coach, whether he's a bench coach, hitting coach, third base coach, doesn't matter. You think they would be apt to go to him regardless of his quote unquote title,
Absolutely. So obviously Marte up at bat has an 0-2 count, grounds that one out to the shortstop. Cal, I agree with you. Marte looks completely lost right now. He's been looking horrible. And ever since that head injury, when he hit his head in Los Angeles, against someone, I forgot who it was with the Dodgers. He's been off lately. He's looked very lazy, very tired. And if he's hurt, put him on the IL. Like, why, I'd rather than call up Mauricio and Vientos and lose with them than lose with Marte.
And I know that he'll be remembered for all those home runs, but for me, the best Murphy moment of that postseason was in Game 5 in LA. That heads-up base running. Going to third. It was such a Murphy play.
Murphy was always had his head in the game. If there was fun to be had or somewhere to get in trouble, he was looking.
Yeah, I hope so.
He was always on point.
After that game, we were in the clubhouse, and I went to interview Daniel Murphy, and I called him David. Vogel back, line drive right to Spencer Steer, 2 away. He didn't like that.
I've been called Jeremy my whole life, so I get it. But David Murphy is who I made my debut, my first big leaguer I faced.
Daniel?
David. Used to play for the Rangers.
Oh, okay. You're going to the other league on me.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
AL.
How'd you do?
Struck man, no big deal. He was a very good ball player.
Jerry, when you look back on those highlights, a little bittersweet?
Yeah, a little bit. Just for me personally, like I was cheering on my team, but I wasn't there, and I was the first and only injury that I really had. I never was on the IL for anything else. I took a comebacker off 5 innings into that season, and I felt like I was missing not being around such a special run, and so I'm cheering it on, and I'm happy, but I'm also, dealing with some of my own hurdles mentally and handling mortality, if you will. And so I love it and I'm proud of it, but I definitely was a little bittersweet for me. Not watching the highlights now, but in the moment for sure.
Luis Guillorme, the 3-1. Fly ball.
Hit that one.
Left field, and that'll reach the stands.
It just goes to show you, I played, a few years in the big leagues, parts of 13 seasons.
Yeah, Daniel Murphy is with the Long Island Ducks. That is true.
World Series.
I saw that Ivy Dose. I saw footage of him. Still has that same exact swing.
Where I know I could help.
Guillorme.
Oh, Guillorme.
That's down for a base hit. He's trying to go 2. Myers fires. And
okay, well,
Guillorme's in there safely.
Guillorme there with the 2-out double. It would have been nice if, I don't know, he did that like last night when he had the bases loaded. But, hey, hit's a hit. You can't go back and change it. Nice 3-2 count there from Guillorme. Obviously a cruddy swing, but he got the job done. Stretched that out into a double, and here comes 2 outs with your big power guy in Francisco Alvarez. So let's see if they could hit with 2 outs and runners in scoring position again.
Yeah.
That's twice he stung the ball today.
Yeah, that's first inning.
Late swing there.
Line drive to left field. Jake Fraley made a nice grab.
Played properly, but he hit it well.
So here's Francisco Alvarez with the runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Mets looking to take their first.
Oh, man, that first pitch was it. Damn.
Well, coming after Alvarez with 2 fastballs. He's got a good one.
Ooh, wow. We're in the 4th. Wow.
Go.
Walk.
I mean, he is searching for that slider, that release point. That is a tremendous job by Stevenson. He wore it off the hand here, but you can see him knowing that it's probably going to hang because he doesn't want to leave it in the middle of the plate, so he overcompensates.
That hits Stevenson's hand.
Yep, bare hand, and it hurt too.
Being that special breed of a human that can put their body on the line like the catchers do.
See Stevenson put that earpiece? Did you see that? Is that pitch count?
Yeah, that's
that they've got earpieces now?
Of course, that's like the whole
sacrifice from
you hear the pitches.
Put their body out there. They're different.
Wow.
They're like the hockey
So a lot
players.
of foul balls from Alvarez, really hitting the ball hard.
Everyone on the field
Trying to hit for power because,
doesn't
Green's,
have
he's
good
pumping
breakable
high
right
velo
now.
right down the middle,
So
but just, if Alvarez could sit back on one, he could definitely hit one hard
Who's
and
gonna
far.
win this?
All you need is a
speed
single.
up there, but it's definitely fastball friendly.
Just off the plate. Nice eye by Alvarez. Count even at 2-2.
It's another thing with Alvarez. His plate discipline has gotten a lot better. A lot better since his first game this
Nimmo
season.
waits on deck. Should Alvarez get on?
That's the goal.
Not fooling Alvarez. It makes me think that they're picking up something different.
Yeah, those are two really good takes after swinging hard at a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
And he walks him.
All right. Walks Alvarez.
Bat by
So the Mets are working a little bit with 2 outs, something that they haven't been doing a whole lot. But can they change that and drive runners in with 2 outs? So let's see. Nimmo's up. My guy, Christian's favorite guy, is up. Let's see if he could get a little base hit here, a double, and potentially driving a run. They're going to have a mound meeting, Stevenson and Green. Obviously, Green, 69 pitches so far. So the pitching coach will come out. They're going to discuss how to approach Nimmo, because this is where the Mets could open up this ball game here, no doubt. Any thoughts?
Well, I mean, the at bat from Alvarez was needed. Like you say, you can't you can't miss these opportunities. I mean, yes, there's 2 outs, but you still have 2 men on. All you need is a single. Don't try to go for extra base hits. I mean, yeah, if you get a double off the wall, great, but go for the single, go for the line drive to center field, go for the double down the line, whatever. But just get a hit, and frankly, don't hit it in the air. I'd rather see Nimmo line out in this situation than a fly ball to the warning track or something. You got to get on base. You got to get the run in. That's the main point. Get a hit.
Absolutely. So here comes Nimmo up, an 0-1 count.
Yeah, he's going to be a 5 and fly.
What's going on, Rob? Yeah, it's very, very much needed, especially with how much this team is struggling with it.
first 2 batters of the inning. Hunter Green got 2 outs on 6 pitches. He's thrown 16 since.
And no one's up in that bullpen. This is on him.
Come on, Nimmo.
This is their young ace, him and Nick Lodolo, who we'll see tomorrow, the lefty. Has really, really good stuff as well, but he's very capable of throwing a gem at any time, Hunter Green. Just can't find that secondary right now.
So Nimmo fouling off some good pitches that are borderline strike zone. That's what he needs to do, stay in this at bat, and like Christian said, put the ball in play.
So that's what you want to refine.
His September last year was special. I think he made 5 starts in a row. I don't think he gave up 1 run in those 5 starts, something along those lines.
Fouling off pitches, it works.
Was the only major league rookie since 1900 to have at least 3 appearances of 6 or more innings with 8 or more strikeouts and no more than 1 hit last season. So, it's there. It's just inconsistent. It's as Keith was saying, it's a young pitcher. It's a diamond in the rough, but the stuff is electric.
Too many good takes on the breaking ball with a guy with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
That means they're seeing it out of his hand, understanding that he's not going to throw for a strike, and if it's in the zone, very hittable.
Ground ball.
That's it.
There you go.
Here comes Guillorme.
That's all you need to do.
Scores into third is Alvarez.
There we go. Brandon Nimmo with a nice RBI single in between first and second base. Luis Guillorme hustling, of course, on 2 outs, and Francisco Alvarez going from first to third. Good base running. Both of those guys are hustling out of the box. And, of course, Nimmo hit that one gorgeous. I'm sure Christian is watching that eliteness on his screen. That is what we like to see, Nimmo driving in runs. So let's see. We have runners on the corners with 2 outs with Lindor, McNeil, and Alonso coming up. Can we start hitting? Can we start hitting now? Mets take the lead. Let's see what Lindor could do.
You got to do the same thing as Nimmo did. Don't try to be the hero. Be the helper.
2.
That was a good pitch.
Green started this game, shot out of a cannon, struck out the first 3 batters in the first inning. But since that time, it's clear the Mets have started picking him up and have made him work. 78 pitches now in the 4th inning. There's a nice breaking ball.
It's just like 1 every 6. It's not going to get it done.
Not the ratio.
It's not going to get it done in the big leagues. I mean, I'm not disparaging him.
Happens.
He's a young pitcher, and he's trying to get it together. He's got a bright future if he does.
Fly ball into center field. Friedel's got
All
it.
right. So Lindor hits that one, caught by the center fielder for the 3rd out. But hey, the Mets, they worked. They hit. They had 2 outs, and they built a rally. And that is what I like to see. You had 2 outs, and you had 3 guys get on with 2 outs. That's something that is needed. Obviously, you had 2 decent quick outs. Alvarez gets on with a nice walk. Guillorme gets on with a nice hit. Alvarez with a nice walk. And then, obviously, Brandon Nimmo, our favorite. We love Brandon Nimmo, of course, on the channel, comes in with a nice single. So, yeah, obviously, the offense is picking up. 2 runs, 6 hits so far. Building up on Hunter Green's pitch count. He's looking a little shaky out there. Hunter Green, location, his curveball, not really connecting super well. So we'll see how that goes. We've seen a lot of hard hit balls off of Hunter Green. But yeah, so far, Nimmo 2 hits so far in the day, an RBI. McNeil a hit. Alonso obviously has the home run and a walk. So good to see the guys contributing. That is very much needed. And look what happens when you hit with 2 outs. You're able to create stuff.
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, you just gotta get a base hit. Like I said, you can't go for the extra base hit. Be the helper, not the hero. You just gotta get a hit. I mean, that's exactly what happened there with my favorite Met, Brandon Nimmo. My guy. I wanted the Tigers to sign him if he did not re-sign with the Mets, but no, he's a good center fielder. I like him. He's a really, really good hitter. He came up clutch in that situation. Lindor sure as hell couldn't, but whatever. Like again, Lindor, he looked like he was trying to go for the downs on that one. So he in this situation, you got a man on third, same situation as Nimmo. You had to take some advice from Nimmo and literally just get a hit. Don't get the extra base hit. Don't try to be the hero if you're Lindor. Yes, we're paying you a bunch of money, but I'd rather see him get a single that scores a run than hit a ball 400 and 8 feet out center field for a fly out. I mean, to me, that's what you got to do. And I think there he was trying to go for the downs. He's thinking, well, now we got the lead. Let me try to expand it and make it a big 4 or 5 run deficit. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. But hey, the Mets got the lead, and yeah.
All right, so here we come. Bottom of the 4th, JV coming in, 51 pitches so far. 1-1 count here to Spencer Steer, and that kid looks like he is enjoying his ice cream cone.
How's the Rolling Stones album? Wonder.
By the way, Sticky Fingers. Is his dad wearing a Mets shirt and a Reds hat?
Yes.
Kid might be too. How does that happen?
I was like,
That's just like you.
Gotta wipe his mouth.
Oh man,
It's good technique, though.
Where's the napkin?
You don't need a napkin. I heard that kid is He knows exactly what he's doing, Keith.
Reminds me of Jay Horowitz, for crying out loud.
Skyline chili.
Justin Verlander in his 4th inning of work. Spencer Steer leading off for the Reds. Verlander still trying to find the shape, Jerry, of that slider, but he's doing just fine. He's retired 6 in a row here to start the 4th.
That shows you how good he is. Because if he's not at his best, he's still capable of throwing up zeros. I love watching Verlander pitch for many reasons. Another one is body language, the way he carries himself. He's telling to another pitcher the way he's feeling about himself, the confidence that he has out there.
I mean, he's such a confident guy. We talked about it on the broadcast, his first outing in Detroit, where he was asked after Kenny Rogers won his 200th game. Todd Jones asked him in the clubhouse after the game his rookie year. Ground ball, Lindor, 1 away.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a hard infield. A lot of high chops.
But so after the game, Todd Jones says, "Hey, kid, would you take that career, Kenny Rogers' career, 200 wins right now, sign up for it?" And without a hesitation, he said, no.
Yeah, I just saw that, Connor. 2 for 2 tonight. Gary Sanchez obviously was signed, starting in AAA Syracuse, and he's on base twice tonight. So, like you said, much better than Nito. It's a realistic thing. Ooh, gorgeous pitch.
You see how he's finishing on top? That was a curveball there. He doesn't have that same finish.
I just think it's a regular off
the
day.
Slider or the curveball. Those are
crazy.
Bottom of the zone where you want to end up. They'll get there. He knows how to pitch, that's for sure.
Ooh, high and tight.
He knows how to pitch inside, too.
He does.
And that's the thing about Verlander that I really like. He can always
40-year-old
man the inside part of the plate.
Maybe his best season ever. Cy Young, a 1.75 ERA in his age 39 season last year.
It's crazy.
And you knew it was only a matter of time that he found that slider. And having fouled 1 ball off my shin in my career and almost retired on the spot, I know what Fraley's going through because that hurts.
You got the shin guard for nothing.
And like Verlander, you talk about pitching inside. Anytime I saw a guy foul a ball off inside, like foul a ball off his leg, I'm not going to take it easy on him. The next pitch is coming inside as well.
Exactly. And that's what you got to do.
What happened?
I'm just saying, you're saying you got to go back inside on him. I says, exactly. You can't be afraid to go inside, especially to, this is Fraley.
Yeah. Yeah.
He looks like Tucker Barnhart.
But I'm coming back inside.
Let's see.
Popped up, foul.
Fastball up.
He's at 95.
Maybe I was doing it wrong my whole career, and I could have been that good if I would have just went with the opposite of what I feel.
Fraley, ground ball. Guillorme makes the play, 2 away. What's that, George Costanza? Just do everything the opposite of what you think is right?
Too late now, I guess.
I think you did just fine. So that'll bring up Tyler Stevenson, who seems to be okay after blocking that ball with his bare hand in the last half. Stevenson walked in the first inning and then got thrown out at second base as the Reds tried to steal that run. You look at this game tonight, and it's highlighting the differences between the Mets and the Reds pitching staffs. 40-year-old Justin Verlander, 23-year-old Hunter Green. The Mets staff is the oldest in Major League Baseball, almost averaging 33 years old. The Reds staff is the 5th youngest in baseball, almost 29. And again, you talk about this Reds rebuild, it's the trio of Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, and Graham Ashcraft that are at the center of it. The 3-0. Taking high ball 4.
That's his first walk of the night.
Second walk of the night for Verlander. So yeah, four interesting pitches right there to to Fraley or Stevenson. My apologies. So we'll see what Nick Senzel, if he could hopefully get out of this.
Look at that crowd in Cincinnati. They love their baseball.
Yeah, they're very passionate fans.
And no one there.
Good frame there by Alvarez.
Senzel.
So yeah, his framing is on point.
I wonder if Fam's getting any flashbacks from being in Cincinnati.
No,
Justin Verlander.
he hasn't been playing a lot. Oh,
Again, missing high.
Low.
That fastball.
Hello, neighbor. You know, that's interesting. I've never seen Verlander miss like that before. Like that bad, like 2 pitches.
Not feeling quite
weird.
as crisp as he would hope as a perfectionist. Like
Probably got a little
Justin
tired. I
expects
mean,
of himself.
Well, that's around 5 fastballs out of the strike zone.
yeah, he's having a hard time with
He's
fastball. You
aware
hope.
of it.
I mean, clearly he's aware of it. So we'll see if
Could there possibly be a little fatigue, Jerry?
try and get out of it. Maybe, like I said, a little
I
tired.
don't think it's fatigue. I think it's inactivity.
Oh,
High
it's a
fly
foul.
ball.
Beatty to the wall.
Tracking it. Right at the.
Oh,
Makes the grab.
nice
play.
play by Brett Beatty. Leaped over into the dugout and caught it. That was a great play there by Brett Beatty. So yeah, once again, the Mets pitching staff, Justin Verlander, able to keep the Reds lineup to do nothing. Obviously, only allows a 4-pitch walk to Stevenson, but then 1, 2, 3 otherwise. So we will see. Absolutely, Christina, we love to see it. And yeah, Trey, I agree with you. The Mets rookies are really starting to show why they're prospects. Absolutely. And it's interesting when it comes to the whole prospects thing. I'm as all of you guys know, I'm a big prospect nut. Christian can tell you all about how I rant about nobodies. And it's interesting to see success in our farm system because the Mets have always had good, of course, great players throughout the years, but none of them were really big prospects. I mean, if we were to sit here and flash back, does anyone know about Jeff McNeil in the minor leagues? Brandon Nimmo? No one really. They weren't really big guys that were known. A lot of the reasons people weren't big on McNeil was because he didn't have power. Look at him now. He's one of the best contact hitters in the game. Nimmo wasn't really a big known guy in the farm system. Same for Alonso. So now the Mets are having guys that are very successful in the major leagues. I mean, no one would have thought Alonso, McNeil, and Nimmo would do this stuff. If you look at 10 years ago, it's crazy. So super happy that the Mets are having success. And it goes to show you with prospects, anyone can be successful. Yeah, you have the top prospects, sure, but doesn't mean they're going to pan out always. So it's good to see guys like Beatty and Alvarez, 2 guys that I've been very high on. And I'll tell you, I'll admit I was wrong about Alvarez defensively. I thought he needed to work, but charge me guilty. I was wrong. He's a great defensive guy behind the backstop, defensive metrics on point. So yeah, but point of that is, the Mets farm system is good. And there's even guys who aren't getting the credit right now. Maybe a guy like Blake Tidwell and Calvin Ziegler. And they could come up in 4 or 5 years from now and just go AWOL. So, yeah, but here comes the 5th inning right now. McNeil, Alonso, and Beatty will come up. Sorry for talking, Christian. I'll give you next inning to.
No, you're good.
You can get the whole spiel in between that inning. So we'll see what McNeil, Alonso, and Beatty could do if they could put some extra runs on the board. The pitch to McNeil. Swinging first pitch.
McNeil, first pitch.
Don't do that.
He pops that one.
That's a no-no. That's a no-no. Yeah, when you got a 1-run lead, that's a no-no.
What happened?
When you have a 1-run lead and you're starting off the inning after your pitcher just got out of a rough frame, that's a no-no.
Approach him here, 3rd time CMP.
You have to stand Pete up inside. So fastballs, especially when you're throwing up and inside, because anywhere down, Pete's an excellent down ball hitter, and anything out over, he can get those big arms extended. So if you're going with the breaking ball,
he doesn't want to pitch to him. He's throwing a lot of pitches inside. He's nervous.
When he got way underneath it, and Pete's looking for a home run. He did throw a good one in the second at bat, but
what's going on, Gary?
Everybody can see it coming, and that's danger.
I would be afraid to call a slider if I was behind the plate because he comes underneath and leaves it out over the plate. Pete's gonna lose it. I'd give him the hit sign here.
No, are you kidding me? Are you stupid?
Nice pitch.
No way.
One.
If it goes there again, I imagine the ball's going to go a long way.
Remember, Pete went to the opposite field last night. That was his whole approach, was right field.
That's true. Pitch clock. Yep.
Oh, that's not a violation.
That's a walk then.
Yeah!
I thought you don't like the pitch clock. What happened?
We'll take those.
No. You can't like it. No, wait a second. I thought you don't like the pitch clock. Ban it.
Oh, obviously.
What a cheap way to get on.
I saw him the clock go down, and then he stepped off. So, yeah, Pete Alonso there on base for the third time today. Pete Alonso is having himself a day, of course. He has a home run, a solo shot, and 2 walks. Obviously, Cincinnati Reds manager David Bell is going to come out and kind of discuss. Yeah, Gary, like I said, cheap walk, but a base is a base. At the end of the day, it's a walk in the record books, and no one's ever going to know it was a pitch clock violation, 5 years from now. But, yeah, it is what it is. So we'll see what Beatty could do with Alonso on base. Can Beatty keep the baton passed?
He stepped off, and the clock just keeps rolling. You should be able to reset the clock even with nobody on at least one time as a pitcher.
I'd be satisfied with 20 seconds, whether runners are on base or not.
Beatty lines one into right field, but Myers there to make the grab, 2 away.
Nice hard hit ball by Beatty, though.
Yeah.
Thought that had double written all over it.
The 15 seconds is too rushed. 20 seconds is fine. I mean,
what did Keith Hernandez just say? 15 seconds is too rushed.
Oh, but I just don't think there should be any difference. No. 20 seconds is fine.
I do wonder what type of changes we'll see after this season. Clearly, they're getting
up on Marte a lot, don't they?
And they know it. The league knows
what happened?
It.
They go up and in on Marte a lot.
And it's crazy because he's struggling. I'd pound him right in the zone. He's not hitting the ball very well.
If there are just a few minor adjustments that get made.
Well, I can tell you the people that I've talked to around town, they say they're watching baseball again, that it's, that it's 2:30, 2:45, and they're watching and enjoying the games. I know myself particularly, the 3.5 game is much. And it's not because even when I'm home, it's just too, it's just too long for me. I'd like it being sped up.
Marte flies out to right field, and Myers
is caught. So, yeah, not a 1-2-3 inning. Obviously, Alonso had a walk, but otherwise, everyone else resulted in outs. Obviously, Beatty with a nice hard hit ball there. Otherwise, Alonso only contribution that inning. Verlander will come in for the top of the 5th to face Myers, Ramos, and Barrero. Christian, what are we thinking?
Quiet inning, very quiet. You get a guy on like that and a kind of a mistake opportunity. You'd like to at least get him to scoring position. Do a little something to give Verlander a nice cushion here. I will have to say though, with Verlander missing on those pitches high consistently, pitch after pitch on the fastball, right, I'm a little concerned. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying that he's hurt. I'm not saying that he's going to be out of this game. I'm not saying anything of that nature. But I'm just saying, from watching Verlander, I've never seen Verlander miss high on fastballs back to back to back. Like it was a really weird scenario. And You're lucky it happened with 2 outs in the inning. Hopefully he can come back here and regroup and get back in the zone with the fastball, because if his off speeds is not working tonight, he's going to need that fastball to dominate this Red lineup. And again, the Mets offense isn't helping him. And again, the story is good pitching, but yet the Mets cannot provide their pitchers with the amount of offense they need to feel comfortable. And if you get a couple guys on with Verlander pitching the way he is, he's doing good right now. But if fatigue is setting in or aggravated injury, I don't know. But like, if 2 guys get on here with less than 2 outs, this game could get away from the Mets. So the Mets got to bear down offensively the next inning and hopefully put up some more runs for Justin.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with that 100%. So, like I said, we'll see Verlander coming in for his 5th inning. It's looked pretty good so far. 2 hits, a run, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So, getting a lot of ground ball outs, light fly ball outs, and you'll take those. So we will come in top of the 5th. Verlander to Myers, first pitch is a strike.
Tells you how good he is, because he's still out there not feeling comfortable with his release, and he's still throwing up zeros. Those are 2 good sliders in a row. Keith, you asked me if it was fatigue maybe, and it's definitely not, because I know him and Scherzer are in incredible shape.
Yes.
This clock doesn't affect them. They're not going to be huffing and puffing, I promise you that. But with the Terry's major injury that he had, and it wasn't – he was able to throw, but there's no way to simulate the release and intensity that you have to get the shape that we talked about, the sharp break, the jump on your fastball. That's a good one.
Right back, guys.
It's just a matter of time. And so for him, it's a rhythm thing. And so the more he pitches, the better he's going to be in the long run. So it's definitely not fatigue in a sense. It's definitely the inactivity from being able to throw with intensity.
Ground ball,
Beatty.
there you go. So, yeah, 1 out. Got Will Myers, a former Padre, to roll over to third base. He got 1 out here, so that's a good sign for Justin Verlander. And again, like, it was weird that last inning, just him not commanding the fastball was very was a new one, at least for me, someone who's watched Verlander for my entire life, very closely, and that was just a weird inning. But hopefully he can regroup here and get out of this inning unscathed. Yeah, fastball missed high, but he was trying to go there. So,
Oh, look at this. So the kid on the left got a ball, and his brother on the right.
Well, they
Not too happy for
They
him.
can share. You can share.
line drive, sliding play by Jeff McNeil. How about that?
McNeil make the catch. He did. Jeff
Nice
McNeil.
sliding play by the flying squirrel. And there's 2 away. Wow, that was a kind of a weird route to
Going
it.
on, what I miss?
Well, he gets a good break on
The flying squirrel made a sparkling play out there and left.
Nice. Yeah, he caught that.
Yeah, no, that's 2 outs.
Jeff McNeil, it's a Gold Glove caliber play there. Good to see that. I walked in, just had to use
There
the
we
restroom.
go. That's a nice curveball from Justin Verlander. That's the type of curveball I'm used to seeing. Doesn't use it a lot, but goes to the slider more often. But maybe since it's not working today, he'll go back to the curveball in this outing.
Yeah.
Another curveball popped up. The polar bear nabs it, and there are 3 outs. The inning is over.
Yeah.
Keeps it a 1-run lead for the Metropolitans
Yeah.
going into the 6th, or their half. Yeah, the 6th.
Like I said, I go to the bathroom, I come back, and the inning's over. Yeah.
Oh, you are gone for a batter. Are you kidding me? You were
Quick-
gone for 1 batter. You saw the first out. You saw the second out or the third out.
Yeah, but quick inning from JV. I heard Christian in the audio. Nice strikeout there, and then of course a great defensive play by Jeff McNeil. That's why, like I said, throw him anywhere, he makes the plays. Throw him in left, throw him in right, throw him at second. Christ, you could probably throw him at shortstop. So yeah, he's looking pretty good. And we'll see Hunter Green coming in for the top of the 6th. He's 91 pitches. So he's
not going to last long. I mean, why? I mean, why risk it for him if he's at that pitch count and you're the Reds and you're not in contention? You're playing the Mets. Yeah, you want to get a quality outing out of him. But hey, if the offense can't score and you're not going to risk, how old is the guy? Was he 23?
Who?
Green? How old is Green?
Green is, I want to say he's like, probably somewhere around that.
You don't want to risk the health of that guy. So, I think this will be his last inning, regardless of what happens.
Yeah. We'll see. Obviously, Vogelbach, Guillorme, and Alvarez. So,
update on the Braves. They have 2 on with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd against the Red Sox. So, I want the Red Sox to get a dub against the Braves. Let's see.
So we will see how the rest of this game will go. I know everyone's kind of asking. So Steve Cohen, I don't think he's doing the Cincinnati series. I think they're giving it to Steve Gelbs, which it's cool. And then Jerry Blevins, obviously a big fan favorite. Very, very friendly guys. I met them in spring training. Took a picture with me. So very, very friendly guys. And I agree with you. Blevins is he's a former MLB player, reliever, of course, and he's very knowledgeable. You see him on a lot of Mets podcasts on YouTube and on SNY, and very friendly and knowledgeable guy. So, I definitely have no rejections with that. I definitely concur with that, Captain Morgan. So we'll see the top of the 6th coming in for Vogelbach. They'll take that one in a little just outside, but it's called a strike. He doesn't look pleased. We'll see what the Mets can get going on in the 6th.
Back out there, but already 92 pitches for Green, so you'd imagine this is probably his last inning. Reds bullpen starting to get to work. Ian Jabot warming up. So, Jerry, when we went to break, you were saying we were talking about McNeil's defense. Go ahead.
I'm amazed at, first of all, if you think about something like switch hitting, watching a guy be effective from 2 different disciplines, it feels the same, but it's the opposite of what you do naturally.
Yes.
Moving from the infield to the outfield is in that similar vein because it's a completely different job. The ball in the air, the travel, not being that close to the action. To be that good, and he is a Gold Glove at second base and in left and right field, especially left field. Literal Gold Glove caliber. It's
oh wow,
be that good.
Paint.
Strike 3.
So Vogelbach, getting very frustrating watching him. Like I said, constantly this guy needs to get the bat off his shoulder. He's standing there, needs to start pulling the ball. I don't care if he has a 400 OBP. I don't care. Vogelbach is a guy that is a power hitter and relies on pulling the ball, and he's not doing that. He's standing there. He gets on base.
He's very uncomfortable when it comes to the outside part of the plate.
He doesn't
want to he doesn't have the ability to go with the pitch. It seems like
exactly.
I know you're a dead ball hitter, but you gotta have some little diversity up there. Geez, you gotta be a little bit. You gotta be able to adapt or die. This guy's dying right now out there.
And he gets on base, and he's not a threat on the base pass. He's never stolen in his life. He's a, base to base.
No, he stole in the commercial. He did.
But let's get back to it. Luis Guillorme up at bat has a 3-1 count. I appreciate you tuning in, Gary. Absolutely, I appreciate that, bro. We'll see you next time.
Good at bats, and this is a good 3rd.
Swing the bat like
fastball. Struck out Vogelbach on that same pitch. Down and away fastball.
Swing the bat. That's what it's there for. It's not for you to look at it.
Now he swung and he's fouled it off. Okay, smart.
Struggled every inning.
Fouled it off. I'll take it.
At least you didn't look at it.
See why the Reds have made him the centerpiece. Like I said, 6-year, $53 million extension in April. The Reds previously didn't have
Lay that pitch
any
off.
guaranteed salary to a player beyond this season. He's the first. and he won't be the last. Guy we're seeing tomorrow, they've been talking a little bit with Nick Lodolo as well.
The pitch there, Guillorme walks.
Scratch that. Nick Lodolo will not be pitching tomorrow as Guillorme takes a walk. He was scratched, and that'll do it for Hunter Green after 105.
All right. So, Hunter Green is coming out after 105 pitches. Walks Guillorme, gets Vogelbach in the full count, then walks Guillorme. Obviously, Alvarez, Nimmo, and Lindor coming up. So David Bell is going to go to his bullpen and try and keep this a close ball game. Just coming on now. Nick Lodolo will not be starting tomorrow. I don't know why that is. He was scratched from his start, which, I mean, he's a pretty nice lefty. So I am not crazy upset. Hopefully he's not injured. Hopefully he is okay.
How are the Mets against lefties this season?
Not very good.
There you go.
The only guy that actually hits well against lefties, and I am amazed that I say this, is Pete Alonso. I want to say like 7 of his home runs have come against lefties.
Why would you be amazed? He's a righty.
What?
Why would you be amazed? Isn't he a righty?
Righty Lindor can't hit. No one else can.
Well, righty, you don't. Lindor can't hit from the right side. You know that. But.
He can hit from the right side, not the left. Lindor cannot hit from the left-hand side. He's a zombie. Going on, Preston. But, I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, Ian, if you want to pronounce that last name, go for it. Giebout is coming into relief. Couldn't tell you much about him. Rays draft. Went to Tulane. Big strikeout guy. Otherwise, you could expect some blue pits from him. So we'll see. The Mets can tack on another run or two here. That would definitely be in need. Like I said, Green's day is done. 5 1/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a home run. So obviously he is responsible for the man at first. So we'll see how things go. I'm doing all right, Preston. I appreciate you tuning in. Scatter through a couple comments dating back.
Pop them up on the screen. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, where should Jeff McNeil bat in the batting order? I call me crazy. I really do like him batting 6th. I feel the numbers like him a lot batting towards the end of the order. Although he can work as a table setter, but I really do like him batting 6th. So here comes Francisco Alvarez back at the plate. We will continue, and we will get Christian's response to that in the inning break. Alvarez takes strike 1.
Jabot features that sweeper more, slider comes across the zone, but he's mostly heavy, four-seam fastball, and he throws a good cutter about 65% of the time.
Double play.
Grounds the ball up the middle. There's
Always safe.
On to first. Not in time. Francisco Alvarez beats it out.
Nice hustle there. Obviously,
Speed too.
India and Guerrero looked a little slow with that, but nice turn.
On the left side of the infield. So that got Barrero out of position there. Tough turn.
I bet they assumed, knowing that he's a catcher, that he's not going to be.
I don't know what's going on here.
Wonder if David Bell is asking to take a look. It seemed pretty clear that he was safe.
How about the slide? Is he saying that he slid into the?
Oh, come on.
No. Well, man,
That's
no.
ironic. What happened last night?
Exactly. No, he slid into the bag. Okay, but could you put his arm up? Is that what they're going to argue?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. How about last night?
Exactly.
What happened last night? I mean, I'm at the end of the stream. I'll put it up for Christian and everyone, of course, to witness. But Guillorme did touch his leg. The ball was released from his hand, so we'll see. That's a tough play. I mean, it's not like the ball was thrown away. I mean, he would have been safe regardless if it was to his chest. But Yeah, that's very ironic considering what happened last night. We saw that very controversial play where Will Myers, literally, this is Lindor's glove, slapped it. And, but yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It's stupid that they're arguing it. But, of course any team would. So we'll see if for whatever reason that'll be 3 outs and then
he's safe, bro.
Top of the order. Obviously, a really slow play there. Yeah, I mean, the ball was out of his hand. I don't really know what they could argue.
So what they're saying that the fact that he was interfered at second, the runner should be out at first?
Yeah, or it's an automatic out, yeah.
Yeah, that's bull.
Yeah, I mean, they're soft. It's a joke. I mean, it's silly stuff like this. Like, come on.
Watch, they'll probably call him out at first. Just because.
They probably will. And if that's the case,
gotta get the game going.
I mean, I don't want Buck to get tossed because considering
Second night in a row.
After the review, the call at second is confirmed. There is no violation of the slide rule. The call at first is also confirmed. The runner is safe.
Okay.
It's not Harrison. It's not Harrison. Poor Harrison only gets, 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
Yeah, he's under the gun.
So here's Brandon Nimmo. Alvarez at first, 2 outs. Mets on top, 2-1.
I think he got a home run. Home run right field.
First pitch swinging.
Come on,
Into
Nimmo.
shallow left. Fraley makes the grab.
So yeah, Nimmo swinging first pitch there. Verlander will come back on for the bottom of the 6th. We'll see. That this could be a very close ball game, and that's okay if it's listen. There's plenty of 1-0, 2-1 ball games out there, but just considering how much farther Verlander can go and how fried this team's bullpen is, I would like some extra runs on the board, even if it's an extra run or two, because still I don't have a good feeling. Anything could happen. One swing of the bat, and it's a completely different ball game. For either sides, of course. So, Verlander coming back for the bottom of the 6th. Otherwise, looking pretty good today. He will face the top of the order, the 1, 2, and 3 hitter. Hopefully, he could retire them quickly. Only 78 pitches. If he has a quick inning, maybe he can get the 7th, and then you go, an Ottavino Robertson. That is a possibility. Anything, Christian? Any comments, concerns?
No, I'm just not really much to talk about, to be honest. A little bit of a dull game here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how New York Mets baseball has been a lot, very, very dull. And I mean, hey, this is probably the best game that I've seen in quite some time. So obviously, early offense later on, and lately it's been a pitcher's matchup. Obviously, the Reds have their bullpen in now, so maybe the Mets could take advantage of that. Like I said, you definitely want to score some runs here because, I obviously, of course, do not have a good feeling still for the bullpen. Obviously, they're very taxed.
Well, good news for the Mets. The Red Sox took a 2-0 lead on the Braves in the 4th. So helping the cause for the Mets.
I'm sure our friend Preston is very happy about that. Thoughts on the rest of the Mets season? Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not happy. I mean, no other way to say it. So we'll see. Like I said, I mean,
embarrassing. I'd say in one word, embarrassing. They've been embarrassing. I mean, for the amount of money they spend on the team, or the hype that's been surrounding them the whole off season, and I feel like it is always every off season, this is even going back to with the Wilpons, early in the 2015, ever since they made the World Series, like 2015 and beyond, it's always been like they've been like the sexy pick. Everybody picks them, and then they just kind of they get washed out, or they make a wild card and they get destroyed by a Giants or a Padres team at home. So
yeah, we'll see. Obviously, they're easy first out there for Verlander. Gets a pop fly to the first baseman off of from Jonathan India. So 1 away, and we will continue on with the bottom of the 6th inning in Cincinnati, a 2-1 ball game.
So here's TJ Friedel.
Ooh.
Verlander starts him
That
off
was
with
a
that
good
first pitch curveball. We've seen him do that a few times to lefties tonight.
He's also the fifth inning was his best, his sharpest. Sixth inning, he comes out looking really good. Keith pointed out that he's only given up 2 hits, both of those in the first, the India single, then the RBI double to Fraley.
Much like he did in Detroit, although he kept it in the ball yard here.
That's it, which is surprising. Detroit is a much friendlier place to pitch.
Not really. They brought in the fences. So I can do research on everybody.
Batters. Only 9 pitches in that last inning.
I think I know what the Mets need.
What?
I know what the Mets need.
What do they need?
I'll tell you after the inning's over.
The pace, him and Alvarez seem to be clicking a lot better, which just takes some conversation.
And you wonder how long Cluck is willing to push him today, because 79 pitches, 5 innings in his first start out. The way that it normally goes as you ramp guys back up. And he gets a strikeout there. Breaking ball, 2 away.
Yeah.
But the way
I
that
mean,
it
it's
normally
true.
goes is you
I
have
mean,
about
you've seen as Verlander strikes out Friedel there for the second out. You've been noticing that. Or David Peterson last night, 3 2/3. Tyler McGill, 3 1/3. Our guys are going into the 3rd, 4th inning. I'm not big on quality starts, but we have what 1 quality start, 2 quality starts this year. One from Senga and Lucchesi. So they need to go deep into games because your bullpen is getting bad because they're being overtaxed. Their arms are tired. It's May 10th. And, yeah, I mean, the rotation is messed up. It needs work. Preston, do I think the Mets will win the division? I don't think so. I think it's probably the Braves division. But we've seen it doesn't matter who wins the division. It's who gets hot and at the right time.
give anything away. He went with his favorite lineup. Well, the Reds will tell us how long we're going to let him go. But he mentioned the innings that they have in mind, an innings limit that they've got in mind, and a pitch limit. But that with a guy like Verlander, there would also be a conversation to be had. Still not out of the 6th inning, but again, you wonder if he's able to get out of here 1, 2, 3, pitch count
7.
still there. Could he put up in the 7th?
He's going 7.
Yeah,
Unless the sky falls, he's going 7.
Steer pops that one straight back and out of play. Jerry again reached his arm out. It's not even close. I know you're tall.
It's
not even close.
I'm just praying that one comes within my reach at some point.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'll save you, Steve.
Thanks.
That's why these long arms come in handy.
Thanks, buddy.
Sometimes.
I mean, I've caught a foul ball. You know that.
With your hands?
Yeah. You never saw that?
Oh,
When you were a player that wasn't talked about in the clubhouse? Weren't you on that team? What was it, 2018 in Houston? A Juan Lagares foul ball. I'm in the middle of a report. I barehand the foul ball and keep going with the report.
Oh, I think you're exaggerating.
yeah, it doesn't ring a bell, Steve. Wasn't thinking about that.
The 2-2 swung on a missed strike 3.
There we go. Swinging a miss, strike 3. Verlander, my apologies, gets out of the 6th inning. And yeah, honestly, I agree with you, Ryan. I agree with you, Logan. He's hot, and I think he'll get the 7th inning. He has a low pitch count. I'd give him the 7th inning, and I'd go to a reliever for the 8th, and then Robertson to close it out, depending on how this ball game is, of course. So, yeah, like I said, Verlander, I mean, we haven't had any pitcher besides one pitcher, and Joey Lucchesi once going to the 7th inning this year. And that goes to show you. So, good to see Verlander pumping it out, but the job is still not done yet. You have 3 more innings to try and win this ball game. So
I tell you who the Mets should pick up.
yeah, let's hear.
Trevor Bauer.
Someone actually I saw that on my Twitter thing today.
I know
Yeah.
his last start in Japan wasn't great, but previously he was doing well. Okay, so you're telling me, because he lost a game in Japan, he's washed out? You got to be kidding me. It's not like Japan produces the best players in the world. Okay, so let's not get on this train where he pitched in Japan and he can't get the Japanese out. He's washed. Like no. They are the best according to this year, they produce one of the best talents the sport has to offer. And the fact he's pitching Japan well, I mean, if I was the Mets and I was in a wild card divisional spot and I saw what he's doing over in Japan, I'd pick up the contract. He's probably not making a lot. I mean, take a chance on him. Yeah, whatever, the whole allegations and what have you, but he was proven innocent. The Mets have had their fair share of wasn't Reyes one of them guys too? I mean, I don't know if he was on the Mets then. Was he on the Rockies?
I don't think he was, but we'll see. Like I said, Bauer, just regardless, he wants to come back to the MLB. He'll definitely have to prove himself, and out in Japan with the Lion something, whatever they're called.
They're called the Bay Stars.
Bay Stars, yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, top of the 7th, Lindor, McNeil, and Alonso coming up. So this would be a nice opportunity to drive in some runs.
Keith, you ever think about going with the glasses that way that break up apart in the middle? You see that guy?
Yeah, it's true, Christina. The Mets would be. I mean, if you look at it, I guarantee you the Mets would probably be at least 10 games over 500 if their guys went 6, 7 innings, 3 runs instead of 3 1/3, 7 runs.
He and Jabot back out there for the Reds.
They're gonna miss from Lindor.
1 and 2.
Yeah, Ryan, we're going to talk about that on the stream one day.
Absolutely. In. Didn't get it there. I wouldn't put it there again.
Definitely a big Blade Tidwell supporter.
Did you guys happen to see Jabot?
No, remember that name?
Baseball Classic. He
what was the name?
He played
Blade Tidwell,
which the uniforms. That's all anybody remembers about Great Britain's run in the WBC is Lindor with the base hit into center field.
Hits a hit. Lindor there with a nice base hit.
WBC not only
would have done that a couple innings ago, would have been 3-1, but that's okay.
So let's see McNeil and Alonso and Beatty coming up. This would be a nice time to put some runs on the board. Maybe if you score a decent amount of runs, will that determine if Verlander stays in this ball game? We'll see. But McNeil coming up, just be patient, slap the ball, and don't get that launch angle swing.
What's going on here?
Why is he complaining? Yeah, this is what I hate also is like they stop and it's like, what's going on? Is it a pitcher? Is it a batter? Is there like a fan on the field?
Ian's father, Russell, is British and is a first-class cricketer. Played at Oxford University in 1983.
So his son is not a bowler.
I don't know how those guys throw without being able to bend their elbows. Probably be I'd
give it a bit. I'm not familiar with this guy's pickoff.
McNeil takes that one right off
Generous
the
call.
outside corner. Jeff 1 for 3 today with a single in the 3rd.
Lindor looked like he started and stopped a steal there. Jabot showed a good, quick pickoff move.
Fly ball right field. Chasing is Myers. He's got a beat on it. Makes the play. 1 away.
Yeah, I'm really fun.
So Lindor, McNeil hit that one hard, but obviously able to stay in the ballpark, didn't travel. Maybe it would have been gone at Yankee Stadium, but not here. So we'll see what Pete Alonso can do. 1 out, 1 run on, top of the 7th. Pete Alonso has been on base all 3 times today, a homer and 2 walks. We'll see what he does.
Stole 4 this year, hasn't been caught yet.
They have. I've noticed that.
Yeah, they're giving Pete the whole right side. India's up the middle.
So if you're Pete, it'd be a nice chance. We saw it a lot the past 2 years with Pete. Hit one to the opposite field. Right field is wide open.
Pete's also very good.
Pitcher's a little worried about Lindor at first.
That way, naturally. I've seen him do it too many times.
He's looked pretty good, Michael. Come on, Pete. Lindor going.
There goes Lindor.
The throw
He's
by
in.
Stevenson is
Oh.
in time.
Oh, wow.
I don't know about that. Thought he was in.
Bang, bang, I will say.
I would review that. I definitely don't think India got the call. I don't think. No, they're not.
Well,
Interesting. Yes, like I said, now Alonso's up.
now
Yeah.
if Alonso hits a home run, Buck's going to look really stupid.
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, I mean, I'm not familiar with Stevenson's arm, but I thought he was in. Maybe not, but if Alonso gets obviously a double or a single here, that'd be very unfortunate. It's a close ball game. Obviously you're up, so it's different. So we'll see.
I mean, I guess the only positive you could take out of this inning is that it was fast, and that means Verlander won't be sitting, for a while. He'll get back up out there. So, I bet if the Mets put up a 3 spot, I don't think you go back out there.
I agree. Yeah.
Swung on a missed strike 3.
So Alonso swinging a miss there
That's positive.
for his first out on the night. Obviously, Alonso's been having a great night. Besides that strikeout just now, 2 walks and a home run. So yeah,
7 hits. How many men have been left on base? They don't show that.
1 for 5. They got 1 for 5 in scoring position, 8 left on base. So like I said, this Mets team needs to cash in runs. And listen, I'm not against Lindor going there. It's a close.
That was dumb. With the power hitter out there, that was dumb.
But also keep in mind, Pete Alonso has lately been hitting to a lot of opposite field. So, obviously, unfortunate move there. But, we'll see what Verlander could do now. And I agree with you, Michael. Now the test begins. Bottom of the 7th, Verlander, if he can get out of this. I don't think he'll get the 8th. Even if he has a 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 pitch inning, I doubt he gets the 8th. But you definitely would like to get at least another run on the board. Because, you don't like to be there's a lot of 2-1 games and 1-0 games, 1-run games, but definitely in terms of being comfortable, they want to drive in runs. And Christina, this team needs to stop straining. They need to drive these guys in, and they keep straining guys on base. They keep leaving guys in scoring position. And that's something this team really needs to get better at. And just realize, don't be the hero, hit the ball. I'm not saying swing for the fences in situations like that. Just hit the ball, pass the baton, drive those runners in. Even if it's, a sac fly, a run's a run. So we'll see what the Mets could do here. Obviously, getting very nervous right now. I am, to be honest with y'all, I am a little anxious right now. So we'll see, what can go. Absolutely. I agree with y'all. So obviously just at the 2-hour mark just now, obviously this game has, this game's been definitely flying by. So let's get right into it. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning. Verlander to Fraley. Let's get into it.
Verlander's retired 15 of the last 16 Reds he's faced. And you see his stats, tonight's Energizer stats. 6 innings, just 2 hits, both of them in the first inning. 1 run allowed. And again, we keep mentioning it, but if there was ever a day the Mets needed this type of a start, today was the day.
He's really looked sharp, his sharpest last inning, the last 2 innings.
And just to highlight,
He's looking good.
How difficult it's been for this Mets starting rotation and the bullpen. Verlander's just the 2nd Mets starter this year to pitch into the 7th inning. The other one, of course, being Joey Lucchesi, that started in San Francisco. It's game 37, not what you
I'm
expect to
nervous.
see with this rotation.
Relax. He's got it. In the bag. No. I say that. Bomb.
Outstanding.
Swung on him, missed strike 3. Just blowing the fastball by Fraley, one away.
I mean, he's basically pitching in AAA again, so it's like that.
97, he comes back with 95 on the corner. We say good night to Jake Fraley. 3 straight strikeouts for Verlander. As you said it, Jerry, he is hitting his stride here over the last couple of innings. First pitch curve, just off the plate.
You knew
that
it
was a good
was
pitch.
a matter
I
of
would call
time
it
until
strike.
he starts to find his form.
Despite being out of the zone, I would have called
It's
it.
desperate.
What happened?
I said, despite that being out of the zone, I would have called that a strike the way he's going.
Yeah, no, yeah, Alvarez has been great defensively lately. He's been phenomenal.
96 right there.
And these are the starts that impress me the most. The ones where it's not like Verlander had his best stuff from pitch number 1, but he found a way through the first 4 innings or so, and then in the 5th and 6th, that secondary stuff really got sharp, and now he's taking off.
He's had a lot of time off, and you just can't get that engine warmed up. You got to idle it for a while, and he's getting in a groove.
That's the difference between
So Verlander throwing his 100th
like
pitch,
Verlander
his
and everybody else.
100th
When he's even not at his best, he
100th
finds a
pitch
way,
of the
figures
ball
it
game
out,
just now.
and gets there. That's why we
Little
say you want
tongue
to jump
twister
on the
there. I
guy
don't know
like that
why.
early, because after that, you're probably not going to get many
You're
opportunities.
nervous.
Stevenson, fly ball, left field.
Out.
Field,
Call it.
called off by Nimmo.
That almost gave me a heart attack, but we're good. Kept in the ballpark. Lately, I've been noticing a lot of balls are looking like they're second deck, and they just like die in the outfield. So Verlander is second out there.
Stake here.
You never know.
That's what I'm thinking, Marco. That's what I'd reckon is probably going to happen. Is you have Otto the 8th and Robertson the 9th, and they've been looking pretty good lately. So hopefully they could nail down this game, and the offense could help out with some runs.
If the Mets get a run in the 7th or in their half of the 8th, would you put him back out there?
Listen, he's 102 pitches. I don't want to kill him.
Oh, he's at 100.
Second start back, I really wouldn't want to go out there and kill Verlander. I don't need to see the tweet. Oh, he's tired. His arm is tight. He's something. But he's looking great. I mean, this isn't like a dominant Cy Young performance, but hey, he's getting the job done. I mean, Alvarez behind the plate has helped him out a lot tonight. So he has the 0-2 count here to Senzel.
Just to the off speed. This might be it though, 0-2, but he's in his fastball. There it was.
Swung on and missed.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So obviously Nick Senzel goes down with the check swing. So the Mets go to the top of the 8th in a 1-run ball game with Beatty, Marte, and Vogelbach coming up. To answer your question, I mean, if the Mets could put on another run or 2 here still, I would still go to the bullpen. It's a second start back, 100 and 3 or 4 or 5 now pitches from him. Plenty of more games to pitch. But otherwise, a really great outing. Hopefully the Mets could, keep the game how it is or score some more runs for the Mets. Because Verlander had a really good day. Besides that first inning, like Christian said, he definitely could have some complexities in the first inning. But as of right now, Verlander most likely is done for the day. 7 innings, 2 hits, a run, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. So, I mean, that's what we call a performance that's needed. And, I mean, imagine if the Mets had another guy or 2 that could do this. I mean, this would be a game. This would be a team that's, with a much better record than 17 and 19. We'll see if who the Reds put back on relief on the bump. See what Beatty, Marte, and Vogelbach could do if they could just, continue to get some runs on the board. That would be nice. Because, like I said, a 1-run ball game, anything. Absolutely anything can happen. Exactly, man. I know. I had the Twins hat, the Red Sox hat on. So I do have that hat in my closet. I may have to bring it out in case anything happens, but we'll stick with this. The mojo's working pretty well. But otherwise, hopefully the Mets can carry on. Game is doesn't feel like the game's flying by, but what about 2 hours in the game so far? So it's It's not horrible. It makes it less stressful for the Mets. So maybe that's the one good thing about the pitch clock. Makes the stress much shorter. So Buck Farmer is coming on the bump for
Who?
Buck Farmer.
Oh, he's a former Tiger.
Yeah. So he'll be on the bump. Obviously, he is coming into relief. Pitcher number 46, Buck Farmer, the righty. Has been pretty decent so far this season. Not horrible. So we'll see if the Mets can essentially change that.
Gary, thanks so much. Justin Verlander, the story of the evening. 7 strong innings for the Mets in a time of dire need. Couldn't ask for more out of Verlander tonight.
Yeah, I won't, man. I will not.
It's exactly what you sign up for with Justin Verlander.
I agree.
Stopper, put an end to the slide. One good pitching outing, and that's what he provided.
Finishes by striking out 4 of his final 5, retiring 18 of his final 19 batters. Here, by the way, is Buck Farmer on to pitch for the Reds.
Finished stronger than he started. Definitely built up to that.
Got to swing at that,
How
baby.
many times do you think there's been a major league game where both sides have a buck?
That's a rare.
Buck Farmer facing Brett Beatty. His real name is George Rooney Farmer. I was unable to find out why he was called Buck, though.
For Buck Showalter, duh.
He's been pretty good this year. 16 games pitched for Farmer, 3.12 ERA, but just 1 earned run allowed in his last 10.
Let's make it 2 or 3.
At bay.
He's got a good pitch mix. Farmer, 93 on the fastball, a hard changeup at 87, and a slider at 82, but he throws them evenly, so you can't really sit on one pitch. He's going to throw it to lefties and righties, keeps people off balance.
Good eye.
That's a ball. Like, chill.
I just think it's a great baseball name. Buck Farmer.
Facts.
No? Seriously? You don't
Facts.
think?
That is true.
Buck, it's okay.
Fox, no, he's terrible. I hated him as a Tiger. He was so bad. Oh my god.
Ooh, nice change.
So Bay striking out there on the changeup.
How old is Buck Farmer? Give me the age on this guy.
Buck Farmer is 32 years old.
Yeah, I was thinking he's getting up there.
Here comes Starling Marte up at bat. Nice, one swing of this ball game could have put good feeling for Marte, who's been slumping really bad lately.
Wait, so why not Buck Farmer?
I mean, in the title of his name, it shows a different profession. We are in Ohio. This is farm country.
How about Boots Day, the old Montreal Expo outfield?
Boots Day.
Boots Day, left-hand hitter.
I loved.
How about Hayden?
Way back when.
How
there
about
was
Phil?
Cannonball.
Okay.
Way back when.
That was a good closer. He was good. He gave me a heart attack every night, but that was all right.
Nickname or given name?
I think his parents named him Cannonball.
That'd be something.
I'm sure that was a nickname. But so is Buck.
Trying to think of my favorite baseball name now. There's a lot.
Yeah,
out
Marte
there.
needs
Lars
to be
Newbar's
benched.
pretty
Marte
solid.
needs to go on the
Yeah,
IL.
Lars Newbar's pretty good.
There's a TikTok personality out there.
He needs to have flu-like symptoms.
Names that are
On the IL.
great Star Wars names, and Lars Newbar is both of those.
Boy, Marte is just off. He's had 2 hanging sliders right there to rip.
2 hanging sliders. And
Just not feeling it.
he needs to go on.
What are you seeing in Marte right now?
He's getting beat with the fastball. He's getting beat. He's trying to go the other way. He just hasn't got any rhythm. It's the same. He's behind there at a ball at plate.
Jeez, right down the middle, bro.
Good pitching. With the
Right down the middle.
It's the same thing hitting. Hitting's a rhythm too. You get out in front, you get behind, you're caught in between. You know, when you got your rhythm, I always felt like you were in a rocking chair.
Marte skies this one into center field. Friedel is there to catch it just in front of the warning track, 2 away.
But yeah, I think Marte needs to go in the IL because, like I said, ever since the Los Angeles series, when he slid into the bag and hit his head, he's hurt and he's not playing well. You could tell he looks lazy, 2 hanging sliders, and just couldn't do anything. He looks off. He's not hustling. Defensively, he's been looking a little slow, very sluggish. I've noticed. So 0 for 4 tonight. Likely to be his last bat, hopefully. But yeah, I would definitely consider calling up. Like Ruben said, there's so many holes in this lineup, and those holes are in result of Starling Marte, Mark Canha, Luis Guillorme, and I think Vientos and Mauricio are the best options to fill those holes. And we'll get into that a little bit more later. But back with the game, Vogelbach
goes the opposite way, and
Vogelbach with an opposite field hit.
He's on with 2 out.
Vogelbach has 2-out hit. We'll see, can Guillorme do anything, and then maybe pass the baton to Alvarez. Guillorme's not really a hitter, so if he
It's a sight to see going the other way.
So you try to bring it back. So you go to BP. I'm left-handed hitter. I would try to hit over the shortstop's head, not down the left field line, over the shortstop's head. The ball down the middle you can play with. You can pull or you can hit it in the other gap. You want to bring it back, hit it to left center field, and then when I slumped, the outside corner pitch, which I loved, looked like it was 15 feet outside.
Yeah, he does.
With my bat. And I can always cover the outside corner. Then one day you get up to the plate, guy makes a perfect pitch on the outside corner. You hit it, drive it to left center field.
Guillorme again pulling that ball to the right.
Now, what are you doing? Oh, okay.
He's in there safely. Aggressive base running by Daniel Vogelbach pays off.
So Guillorme there with a nice hit.
Pulls a hammy on the way to third base.
Vogelbach running to third base. So we'll see. You got guys in scoring position, a base hit, a double. Expand the runs.
Where the Mets have been struggling.
Exactly. And like I said, you have your 9, 1, 2, 3 hitter. Your productive bats are coming up. Alvarez, obviously, only a walk tonight, 2 homers yesterday. Just put the ball in play. Don't swing for the fences. I love Alvarez homers. He had 2 last night. Just base hit. Get a pass ball, anything.
That's a terrible slide by Vogelbach. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah, he's not, I respect the hustle, but.
That's how you break an ankle.
Yeah.
I'm back. Go figure.
Alvarez
What are you
first
doing?
pitch. Steer takes a look.
Okay, works, fine.
But that was dumb.
Yeah, why is he first pitch?
Steer clear of the out. My youngest son, 3.5, Asher, into monster trucks. There's a Steer Clear is a monster truck name. Got the horns.
Oh, that's pretty based.
I appreciate that. Shout out to Asher and Ellis, my boys back home.
Based. Great insight from the Mets broadcast. What an elite broadcast team you guys have over there. What an elite broadcast team.
Alvarez swings over top that pitch. And Farmer quickly ahead 0-2.
First pitch, Alvarez has been, looked a little off swinging at lately. It's 0-2 count, 2 outs. You got to hit. Pass the baton. On Alvarez. Just get a base hit.
Slider after chasing that one 0-1. There it is.
Alvarez strikes out there. Obviously, Alvarez had a good night last night, 2 home runs. Otherwise, tonight he just has a walk, and now that strikeout. The Mets, 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position tonight, stranding 10 guys on base. That is unacceptable once again. So, like I said, you still have the lead, but you feel much more comfortable, having a 3-1 or 4-1 ball game. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Obviously, the Mets 2 runs, 9 hits. The Reds 1 run, 2 hits. Will Myers, Henry Ramos, and Jose Barrio coming up. I believe Ottavino should be coming in. I doubt Verlander will go out for the 8th. Maybe he may. I don't anticipate that. But yeah, definitely a close ball game. So we will see. very frustrating once again. It's situations like this where the Mets kill themselves. You know, the Mets lose lose games by them being the Mets. You know, they get guys in, they can't hit with runners in scoring position. And I mean, last year this was a team that had ninth inning comebacks against the Phillies and Cardinals. And listen, they're getting hits with 2 outs, but they're not driving them in. So what's
Have they had a walk-off win yet this season?
Have the Mets had a walk-off win? Yeah. They have not, but also keep in mind they haven't played a lot of home games. They've only had like 3 or 4 home games or series. They only had like 3 or 4 series. I mean, they had a lot of road games: Oakland, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Comerica. So Cincinnati. They haven't been at home a lot. They only had a home against the Rockies, the Marlins, and 1 or 2 other teams. So yeah, as I projected, Adam Ottavino is coming in for the 8th to face Myers, Ramos, Barrio.
JV out there one more time.
Yeah,
I was up though, but yeah, it would have been cool to see him go in the 8th. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it's a second start. You got to be careful. You don't want to see him. You're not trying to kill him. But yeah, another phenomenal outing from JV. So definitely a much needed outing once again. So Adam Ottavino comes in, slider. It's a ball 1 in the. So let's get into it.
The Mets fans that he is who they wanted him to be, and to show this team that he's got their back and can carry that load and be the stopper. Retired 18 of the last 19 batters, and now he passes the baton to Adam Ottavino. Ottavino pitched an inning last night, scoreless. Ottavino, and then Robertson, if you're the Mets, and hopefully you get off the schneid.
So someone's not happy.
You've never heard that before? I have. I don't know what it means. I'm not too proud to admit that. You're a very smart man. What do you think it means? If I say the Mets are going to get off the schneid, clearly it insinuates or implies that they're going to get back on track. There you go. Yeah, you got it.
I'm looking up the word right now.
So it wasn't just me.
Derogatory,
good pitch there.
A mocking in an indirect way. Snide remark. Oh, that's a snide, not
snide.
I
was going to say, do not say derogatory in my second game ever here.
Oh, how do you spell it? Snide.
Oh, Lord.
Myers, foul ball.
I'm nervous.
Jill, the Mets. They're professionals. Come on, man.
They are not professionals.
Sorry, guys.
They're professionals. Man, I'll tell you.
Let's do the game.
Pretty important.
Throw the ball out of it now.
Here. The 2-2 to Myers.
Right
down the middle. Gets him looking.
Wow. I'm nervous for you. I want to see Rage Hayden. This has been very fun. I want to see Rage Hayden.
You probably will see Rage Hayden because I guarantee you something's going to go wrong. Shot. Yeah, I have no idea what that word means. I know they're talking about it.
What? Get off the schneid?
Yeah.
It's like get off the pot.
Good first hitter.
Dropping a bunt.
Oh, that was a smart idea.
Perhaps Beatty was playing deep.
Okay, I'll say it real quick. A losing streak. Schneid.
So it
literally
means
okay, just move on. No one cares.
I'm still not going to use it, but I appreciate it. Meanwhile,
I've never heard you get off the schneid before. That's like such a common broadcasting term. Everybody says schneid.
2-0 to Henry Ramos. Ground ball, right side. To a knee is Alonso. He makes the toss. 2 away.
Good play, Pete.
Good feed by Pete there. Ottavino getting there. You talked about it last night with Alonso, or with their first baseman. Alonso does a good job of leading the pitcher into first base because it can be bang bang. So the sooner you get the ball,
I don't know. And then they're not out of the woods yet. They still got what? 3 more outs to go.
Underhand, you've got to toss it to the pitcher. Always try to get it to the pitcher. a couple steps before he gets to the bag.
You act like you've been
done
pretty
that.
good over there a few times.
Yes, I've done it a few. I always felt like I was a quarterback throwing like a look in over the middle.
I can see
You know,
him in
I got to lead the sure. I got to lead the
He
pitcher.
looks very hitterish.
It's a good way to think about it.
Very hitterish.
I felt that same way turning a double play. You get the ball and you would turn
You think Ottavino would be such a predictable pitcher?
over the bag, on whichever. If the shortstop's covering,
Yep.
you throw it on, the left side in second base, vice versa. But you always want to lead him there, so you got to kind of wait timing wise for him to get there. Quarterback.
Is the rule on the pitcher when the pitcher starts a double play, routine double play, tailor-made? You throw to the bag, right? Is that what you're taught? You throw to the bag, but you got to wait for the fielder to get there to throw to the bag.
Yep, you got to throw it to the bag, but you always want to give the nice
Saw it off. Again, it's Alonso to Ottavino.
So yeah, Ottavino there, a nice 1-2-3 inning, looked good, no complaints. Obviously a strikeout and 2 light hit balls from Alonso to throw to Ottavino. So the Mets will go to the bottom of the 8th with the top of their order: Nimmo, Lindor, and McNeil coming up.
They need to score a run. They need to score.
Yeah, I mean, you would like them to score a run, obviously, definitely needed.
If they don't score a run here, I think they might lose this game. Because I'm just saying,
I can agree with you on that.
Not good for the Reds, but I got a feeling that if they don't score one run, they're going to pull a Met. They're going to pull a Metropolitan, and they're just going to just blow it. I don't know. They got to score a run. I mean, they have the top of the lineup, the meat of the order with Big Meat Pete. They need some insurance for sure. I don't know. I honestly thought that the 9-hitter was like going to go yard against Ottavino. Be like fine.
Yeah, no, Robertson or not Robertson. Yeah, Robertson's going to get the 9th, no doubt. Yeah, good to see Ottavino have a good outing. I know the last 2 he looked a little iffy with walks, and the Detroit game he didn't look great, obviously. So good to see him with a good outing there. Obviously, yeah, you'd like to score here. I would like to say you may see Alexis Diaz come into relief here, just because it's the meat of the Mets order and keep it a close game. They may go to Alexis Diaz, brother of Edwin Diaz, so we could play like half a narco maybe. Alexis Diaz, he's been looking pretty good. And I agree. I think there's a possibility maybe the Mets could target him at the deadline.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. Nothing to do with him being the brother, but just he's a very similar pitcher, very good strikeouts, very pounds the zone, similar to Diaz, fastball slider combination, change up every now and then.
Do you imagine Diaz and Diaz 8th and 9th next year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's many ball clubs out there that have brothers. I mean, offensively, sure, but pitching wise, I don't know if there are any.
I don't think I've ever seen a brother duo pitching. I mean Justin and BJ, but remember Justin Upton and BJ Upton with the Braves?
Yeah, I do remember that. So 18 people in the chat. Appreciate everyone for tuning in.
Subscribe.
Yes, sir. Subscribe, comment. But yeah, top of the 9th, Nimmo coming up today.
Cisco Lindor, he'll face off against Brandon Nimmo.
Alex Young pitching for his 3rd consecutive game.
Alex Young coming in for the Reds.
Surprised to see him and Alexis Diaz warming up at the same time.
Inside.
I would love to see Nimmo start a rally here.
Yeah.
Top of the order.
Obviously, Nimmo 2 for 4 on the night, 2 singles and an RBI, responsible for one of these 2 runs. So maybe Nimmo can continue to add on.
What the hell's going on?
Stop timeout. I don't know. Someone was on the field. Come on, Nimmo.
Nimmo.
That's a base hit.
Another base hit into center field. For Brandon Nimmo and the Mets.
So,
It's my guy. It's my guy.
Brandon
The
Nimmo.
only guy I like on the Mets is Brandon Nimmo. I will fully disclose that
Just
right
remember,
now.
you're on a Mets stream here. Be careful.
No,
But, Nimmo taking that changeup opposite field, and he's hitting the ball very hard to the opposite field. So good to see that. Lindor coming up.
What the hell's going on? Well, he's got a set or something.
I don't like the color of your cleats. Pitch clock, something. His hand wasn't down. It's stupid. So Lindor coming up, batting from the right-hand side.
Young, the ball to 1-0.
Why are you swinging first pitch?
Dude, what an idiot. What a dumbass.
Oh, why are you swinging first pitch? Jesus.
I don't think people understand how difficult that pop-up straight
What are you doing?
to a catcher. You have to turn around.
Jeez. Now McNeil's going to like double play. Come on.
Another 15, 20 feet from its apex and just keep sliding.
Come on, Lindor. You know better.
And the catcher's mitt's not
Sorry to be negative, but like,
something that-
take a pitch. This team is very, they get so like, I'm going to be the hero.
It's difficult.
Comes McNeil. It's his first pitch.
Jeff McNeil.
That's what he does.
McNeil 1 for 4 at a single in the third.
Mets have 10 hits in this game and only the 2 runs. They left 10 men on base.
Manufactured.
Their opportunities.
Come on, Jeff. Let's get a nice hit here, a double.
Just 1 for 6 on the night with runners in scoring position.
So Robertson is in the bullpen. He will get the ninth.
He'll be asked to lock it down in the ninth.
David's had 3 days rest. He'll be strong.
3 days rest. He will be strong indeed. Come on, Jeff.
McNeil shows bunt, pulled it back.
Well,
He did it in time.
Wow.
third baseman wasn't fully aware. Bunted. Nah, he pulled it back.
I don't know about that.
Ah,
That was close. That was a late
maybe.
ball back.
Bruce Dreckman made the call at third.
But it was called the ball. 1-1 count to McNeil.
I might be biased a little bit. I was going to say, you sound like a pitcher there. That's true, though.
Fouled that off.
I always feel like when a hitter squares around, he's already crossed that like swing path. He's out front. And then by the time the ball gets to him, to me, he's already attempted, which is by definition a strike. But again, I am 100% biased. McNeil grounds that one foul. You can submit that to the commissioner's office for next year's rule changes, that anytime you show bunt, it's automatic. It's not automatic, but in that instance where he clearly was late, if it's any bit of doubt, should be.
Let's go, Jeff.
Ground ball right side.
Double play ball.
Throws.
Oh, he's safe. Let's go.
So both runners safe.
So an error there. Obviously, that should have been, I don't know if that would have been a double play, but India could have definitely gotten Nimmo at second if the shortstop, whatever his name was, obtained the ball. He got it. Yeah, that's an error.
On the shortstop.
Maybe 86. I can't tell. So good to see that. Definitely wasn't a good thing on McNeil. Would have been hit last year with the shift, but yeah, now the Mets have runners on first and second with 1 out. The bullpen will be called. Alex Young's day is over. Pete can easily change this ball game up with a swing. You'd like to see that. The bullpen is coming in. Obviously, good inning there. Good at bats from Nimmo and McNeil. Not Lindor, of course, but yeah, here comes the bullpen. Definitely a break. You'd like to add on a run for that. That'd be a good opportunity to at least get 1 run on with a single. Nimmo on second, very fast guy, very speedy, considered an elite speedster. McNeil, average speed, he could definitely hustle. So, definitely a double could potentially score 2 runs here. So, yeah, Pete obviously is having a good day on base 3 times today with the home run and 2 walks. So you never know. Maybe Big Meat Pete can do what he did in the first inning or the second inning this time or provide something. So, yeah, Alex Young for the Reds, only 1/3 of an inning, a hit, and I guess an error hit. So, Casey Legumina, I think I said that last name right, will be coming into relief. And I don't know much about him, but he's all right. walks a lot of guys, strikes out a decent amount. Gives up a lot of hits, though. So that can be interesting. So we'll see what he chooses to throw to Alonso. Any comments or thoughts, Christian?
Sorry. Nah. Alonso, he has to get on. He has to deliver here for the Mets. It's I don't know. I got a bad feeling. About the ninth inning.
That makes
I know I'm on a Mets stream, but I'm just saying I got a bad feeling. If they don't score here, I have a bad feeling.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's
and the thing is, if they tie it, let's say the Mets don't score here. Let's say they tie, and let's say the Mets go down in the 10th. The Reds are going to win the game because if they run around second base,
right,
they're going to win. So this is a very critical at bat to secure the win for the Mets here.
So here comes Pete up to bat, swinging first
pitch. This is the shit. Wow.
So like I said, Pete, constantly in that situation, man, he's upset. He's upset. Situations like that, Pete constantly, gets very, very happy and tries to play hero. First pitch swinging, not the best.
Choker, professional choker, right there.
Robertson can get a quick 1-2-3 inning to make Mets fans
be a helper, not a hero. I keep saying that. These guys just try to they get on scoring position, and everybody gets hard over it. Like, God, relax. You have men on second base. Can you just get them in? And there was less than 2 outs. And what does he do? Literally, the first pitch grounds into a double play. That's the thing, is that it really pisses me off with any team, is that it's the first pitch. The guy just came into the game. You're giving the pitcher. You're not making his outing stressful. Literally, he comes in, first pitch, boom. Oh shit, that was easy. All right, there's no pressure on the new guy to come in. Let him pour in a strike, make it 2 strikes. Put the pressure on the pitcher as much as you can, because the longer he's out there with men in scoring position, he will feel it. And obviously, he didn't feel anything because the first pitch he threw, he grounded into a double play. And I mean, look, I know you want to drive in the run, but you got to be patient. And Alonso should know that. And he should know the situation. You're not up. This game is not 5-1. It's 2-1.
You're speaking of the choir, man. I mean, this team, obviously, they get very happy and always try to play hero. Don't be the hero. Get on base. You'll be the hero if the team wins as a whole. And that's the thing, and I love Alonso.
I'm not confident about this 9th inning. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a Dougie Downer, but my God, you've had so many opportunities. They remind me of the Tigers yesterday. The Tigers are the same type of game where they've left a lot of men on base.
Right. Yeah. So we will see. David Robertson coming into the 9th inning. Reds fans have the rally caps on. Mets fans are, doing something. Obviously, Mets are hoping to get a win. David Robertson will go for the save to face the top of the order in Jonathan India, DJ Friedel, and Spencer Steer. Obviously, it's been a good day for the Mets pitching-wise. Offensively, it's been okay. It's not the best day offensively, but we will see. David Robertson for the 9th inning to Jonathan India, the pitch. Right down the middle, strike 1.
Well, there's no doubt this is a crucial save right here. This will be a devastating loss. Mets have got to win this game.
It does.
And the ball gets away.
India 1 for 3. Hard hit single in the first. There's Buck Showalter pacing. Nice pitch. Good job by Alvarez to get underneath that curveball and spot it in the zone. He's very good behind the plate to be able to pick that knuckle curve and keep it in the zone for the umpire.
Hello.
Keep it low, Robertson.
Up and in.
I'll do play-by-play for the last announcer, for the last batter. How does that sound?
Based.
Hey, ball down the strike zone.
Cannot walk him.
That'll be a full count to India. TJ Friedel, the lefty on deck.
This team always makes you stressed.
That's up 2-1, bottom 9.
Come on, Robertson, right down the middle, man. Or, a strike.
Wow. Nice pitch. Nice pitch.
Strike. That was a strike.
That was a strike. That was a good
Yeah.
pitch.
Oh, my fault. I thought you said that was a ball.
No, I said good pitch.
My apologies. So yeah, good pitch and then great frame by Alvarez. TJ Friedel coming up.
He brought that up like 3 inches. That's funny.
First out.
But no, it was a strike. It was a strike regardless. Well, now you feel more comfortable.
TJ Friedel.
Good frame there by Alvarez.
Outside corner. Friedel 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts.
I'm nervous. I'm sweating.
Oh my God.
Don't like it. Not happy.
Oh, it hit him. Did it hit him? No. Oh, okay.
Just missed Friedel. And the Mets playing the possibility that Friedel will bunt. Brett Beatty a few steps in on the grass.
Absolutely, yeah. Foul ball. 1-2 count.
Robertson's got good stuff, boy. He's got good fastball.
His stuff looks good. His command, I think, like towards the outside of the pitch, can definitely improve. But getting the job done so far. I'm not going to complain.
He's really like, you're missing Brooks Raley out there because you don't have any lefties, but he's equally
Talk about Brooks Raley for
to a lefty as any other lefty in the game.
Bounces that one. Lefties hitting just 154 against David Robertson, as he says, my bad on that pitch. Righties coming into the night, we're hitting 182. So great against both, but he's actually been more effective against lefties.
That cutter is an equalizer because they can't dive out. Everything's coming towards them, but it's so sharp and it comes in and it keeps you honest with everything else away. The 2-2.
Throw a strike.
It's
not. I don't know if it's that he just
breaks straight down.
Because his command is just so cruddy.
Lefty to hit that either because it's so big and vertical. It's like both.
Swung out. Strike 3.
All right.
Robertson.
One more to go, and I promised you guys. I said I'll do play-by-play for the final at bat, so I will do it. Yeah, so obviously, good Robertson getting a full count back-to-back times and is able to get the guy out. So definitely very much needed. Here comes Spencer Steer. 0 for 3 on the day, a flyout, a ground up, and a strikeout. Robertson for the first pitch to Steer. Steer hits that one. Going back. Going. Nimmo will approach that, and he will make the catch, and the New York Mets win the ball game. Let's go. Let's fucking ride. Based. Let's go. The Mets win it. The Mets put it in the win column. Mets country. Let's ride. I'm so excited for beating the Reds. It's pathetic. I don't care. Yeah, I'm happy. The Mets beat the Cincinnati Reds. Definitely a very nerve-wracking 9th inning. But hey, the Mets got the job done, and they beat the Reds to win the ball game. That was definitely needed. Yeah, obviously everyone's happy in the chat. I do not blame y'all. I am very happy. And yeah, like Rob says, a win is a win. It doesn't matter. So we will definitely talk about that for a second. Otherwise, we'll wrap things up momentarily. But yeah, quick little recap. I'll give my little spiel, and then Christian, of course, can get his little reaction to the game. So obviously, that's in this game. What?
I just realized I could look at the comments. I couldn't see the comments. I was in a private chat. And like the whole time, I'm like, How are you? Like, why am I not seeing the comments? And I like literally go over to the side. It is like comments. I'm like, oh shit, whatever.
Yeah. So obviously the New York Mets win today's game by a score of 2-1. They are 18-19. So they're a game under 500, which is good. Obviously getting things started, obviously with the offense. It didn't look great today, but you know what? They got the job done, and that's all that matters. Pete Alonso in the second inning had a solo home run for his 13th on the season. Someone will have to go back and take my reaction, of course. So Pete Alonso with his 13th homer of the year. And I'll tell you, that was a moon shot. I'm going to go to Baseball Savant and tell you the hard hit metrics because, of course, I would. So Pete Alonso, when it comes to the hard hit metrics for that home run in the second inning, that was hit 374 feet with a top exit velocity of 104.7 miles per hour. It had 104.7 exit velocity. It had a launch angle of 37 degrees. An XBA, what was the XBA on that? 560. So that was a moonshot, and that ball, mercy. So, yeah, obviously Pete Alonso gets the Mets with his 13th homer on the season to make this a 1-0 ball game. And then going on into the fourth inning, Brandon Nimmo does what he does best, and he gets on base. He had an RBI single to the right fielder to bring in Luis Guillorme. Otherwise, good night for the Mets pitching staff, only giving up one run, like Christian said, in the first inning. Verlander, 7 innings, 2 hits, a run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. He gets the win, his first win as a New York Met. Ottavino comes in for an inning, a strikeout, gets the hold, and Robertson comes in to close it, striking out 2 to get his 7th save on the season. So obviously, a decent night, 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Still something you need to address. You got to work on grinding those at bats. You left 11 on base. I'm happy you won, but a little disappointed in that still. A couple players of the game, of course. Brandon Nimmo is definitely one player of the game, no doubt. 5 at-bats, 3 hits, an RBI. He has a batting average of .311 and an OPS of .858. Pete Alonso, obviously, in 5 plate appearances, had 3 at-bats. He had a run, a hit, an RBI, 2 walks, .874 OPS. So you like to see what Alonso's doing. He had a good game yesterday, a good game today. Daniel Vogelbach, 2 hits. Luis Guillorme, 2 hits. McNeil and Lindor, 2 hits each. Otherwise good stuff from the New York Mets as they win this ball game. So Christian, what are you thinking about this ball game?
It was quite boring. Number one,
it was.
The offense was not there. No, but I mean, Verlander, like I said, Mets fans just have to get used to it. That's just going to be his MO for probably forever. He's going to have a rough first. He's going to give up some runs to the offense, no matter who he's pitching against. This is the way it is. It's the way he does it. But if Mets can, stick with him past the first, I guarantee you he'll have a quality and quality start at minimum and probably get the dub for the Mets. And, like I said, the offense was horrendous. Actually, it was horrendous. It was terrible. The offense did not do what they had to do. I mean, yeah, they got the win, but based off of 2 hits, pretty much 2 clutch hits, a home run, and the base hit from my guy, Brandon Nimmo, my guy. I mean, this was the first time, aside from me watching the Mets like at Comerica Park, first time I watched the Mets in depth on TV, and I will say their at bats look terrible. I think swinging at first pitches is stupid. I think when Lindor did that was real dumb. I think it was like in the 8th or the 8th inning when he did that. And they just got to learn. I mean, the hit and run, whatever that was from Buck, whether he stole on purpose or there was a thing from the bench or whatever. I like the aggressiveness. That just what you can do on that. I mean, he lined out the shortstop, doubled him off at first, whatever. I mean, I'd rather see that than hey, if he would have walked, because it was a 3-2 count, if he would have walked being Lindor, then okay, yeah, you would have a man on second, or if he would have struck out, you would have had a man on second anyways because you probably would have stole the base. So, and it probably a pretty rare situation to be a strike him out, throw him out, which could happen, but you never know. I liked the idea there. There were a couple of times where I thought the Mets probably could have bunted to get a guy over, or to get just to produce that extra run. Not saying to put the bunt to get the run in, but to bunt to get the guy into the right position. I thought there were a couple of chances where the Mets could have gone that route, but Vogelback looked terrible. That was a disgrace from him. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, he got the hit to left, whatever, but like the at bats from him, I could see why you Mets fans are not a fan of his. Marte looks terrible. Swinging at whatever, whether he's off or he has a head injury, a concussion, whatever the hell he has, he was not putting together quality at bats, as we all saw there. The broadcasters, noted. But again, it was all pitching and defense for the Mets. I mean, a nice play by McNeil in left, a couple good plays by Nimmo in center, and the defense did the job, and they backed up their pitcher in Verlander. I don't know how many strikeouts did Verlander end up with. Do you know how much was that?
Justin Verlander ended today's game going 7 innings, 2 hits, a run, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. So that was
strikeouts. That's not bad.
Quality.
I mean, I think it's embarrassing when you look at the line score and it's like, 2-1 Reds or 2-1 Mets over the Reds. I think they could have. They should have scored a lot more runs in this game. I think it was an embarrassment when it comes to just yesterday. I mean, you're losing 6-7 to the Reds. I know the whole play at second base, but like that you cannot lose games to the Cincinnati Reds. I don't care what it is. You can't. I don't care if they're at home. I mean, there's no one at the stadium. There's no pressure. I mean, for God's sakes. I mean, I get it. Hunter Green was on the mound. He was dominating the first couple of innings, throwing 100 miles an hour. But JV matched him pitch for pitch, and the experience, outdid the talent of the rookie, which I kind of expected to happen. But I think the Mets offense needs to find itself. They have another chance against the Reds tomorrow. Hopefully, they can put up more than just 2 runs. That would be nice. Like, you would like to see the Mets get a good 7-0 or 7-1 win against these Reds, and and again they have a winnable schedule. They have the Reds and they have the Nationals, so they should be able to, at minimum, win both of these series coming up on the road. And come back home, they're going to face a tough Tampa Bay team. So you got to rack up the wins this week on the road. So when you do go home, that you won't look like a pathetic baseball team against the Tampa Bay Rays. And the Rays have been outstanding. They have been obviously the best team in baseball. Their offense is immaculate. They've been scoring runs. Their home record is insane. They beat up the Yankees. I know the Yankees aren't good, but still, it's impressive. So you want to come home. You got to get these wins coming up against the Nationals and the one against the Reds tomorrow at 12:30. But, from today, they did what they had to do. Verlander got him the win, and that's what you signed him for. And hopefully Max can follow in his footsteps, in his next outing.
Yeah, no, and that's an interesting point, Captain Morgan. I didn't know that. Now Verlander officially has a win against all 30 teams. That's
how about that?
That's very cool. I mean, we witnessed Nimmo with 3 hits, Pete Alonso with the home run, and Verlander recording his first win as a New York Met. So obviously a great night. But yeah, I agree with that. And I think right now you look at this ball club and you look at this Mets team, and they have a lot of things to do. The fans are not happy with the front office and Billy Epler. I mean, we've discussed it a lot, and I think this team needs to make a lot of changes. I think they need to call up a lot of guys from AAA Syracuse. I would not be surprised, and you could quote this at 254-41. I strongly believe that Mauricio and Vientos, at least one of them, Ronnie Mauricio or Mark Vientos, will be up by the end of this week. And I think they're going to put either Marte on the IL or DFA somebody. And I think the reason Yorm is getting hot is because I think he knows he may be that guy.
Yeah.
After last night, striking out bases loaded on all 4 or 3 balls, fans are not happy.
What's
There's a lot
the
of hope.
deal with Marte? How many more years he got? It was only 2
Yeah,
years.
I think for 2 more years, and that's going to be something that this Mets team is. I personally I don't think he was needed for 4 years. Do you? You could put him in left field as he gets older, but we'll see. There's a lot of concern with this team now offensively. Still, the win's a win, so I'm celebrating. But going forward, they need to hit with runners in scoring position. They need to hit with 2 outs. And listen, it's fine if you win a 2-1 ball game. Baseball, a win's a win. Nobody cares what the score is as long as you win. Last year, you had a pitching squad that carried. You had Bassett, Walker. I know they're doing horrible with their new teams, but they were good for the Mets last year, or average, above average to an extent. Bassett, Walker, DeGrom for the second half, Scherzer for most of the part, McGill, Peterson, Carrasco. They would go 6-7 innings.
I tell you another guy the Mets could pick up. I think it could be a guy like Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, Erod's definitely a guy, but like I was saying, last year you look at this Mets team. You had whoever it was, Bassett, Walker, Scherzer, DeGrom in the second half, McGill, Peterson, Carrasco, whoever. They'd give you 6-7 innings, average 3 runs, 7 strikeouts, a walk or 2. Keyword 6-7 innings. This Mets rotation is going 3 innings, 4 innings. You can't have that. And then the bullpen goes in, and they're taxed. They're tired. They're overtaxed on May 10th because they have the bullpen combined has probably pitched more innings than the rotation. And that is very concerning and very alarming. And we're seeing a lot of guys, AAA Syracuse going to New York, they're going back and forth. They're using a lot of taxi squad arms. So, that is an issue. I think offensively this team needs a lot of work. But last year, the Mets you saw last night, the Mets lost when they scored 6 runs. I read last year. You want to know how many games the Mets lost when they scored 6 runs? Take a guess. How many games they lost when they scored 6 runs last year?
0.
4. They lost 4 games in 162 games last year when they had 6 runs. You want to know how many they lost this year?
Probably
so
all.
far? 5. You literally already surpassed. So you're already surpassed that. So it goes to show you. And we saw it. One of the Detroit series, I think it was also 6-5. Last year, that would have been a win. And I read something where if the Mets starters went 5-6 innings and only gave up 3 runs, this team would be 10 games over 500, or now 11.
Yeah.
That's the issue. I think when it comes to what's the bigger concern, the offense or the pitching, I think it's more the pitching because they're not going in deep and they're always giving up runs first, second inning, this offense or the pitching. And then it's hard for this Mets lineup to come back when they're always down. And we saw today they came back, which was great. But I think that's the issue with Billy Appler. He invested in an old rotation. You see Max Scherzer, 37, 38. Verlander, 40. Carrasco, 36. Quintana, 34. I mean, you don't have anyone that's
Quintana. I forgot about that guy, yeah.
An old rotation. And someone said it before, the Mets need to draft pitching. You need to draft pitching. All the Mets do is draft catchers and shortstops. I don't care.
You had a pitcher in DeGrom. I know I'm saying DeGrom, but you had him right there. Yeah, I know
he's
hurt. I know.
Where is he?
I know
he's on
in Texas. He's getting hurt every time, but I don't know. I think they could have, like you say, they should have added, last year. I mean, again, the question becomes, do you sign a guy or do you trade for a guy like Shohei Ohtani?
And I think that's
when is that a possibility? Is that a possibility? As a Mets fan, what are you willing to give up to get a 2-way start? Because once you get him, you got to sign him. And obviously Daddy Cohen will have no problem with that. But right. I'm just saying, what are you willing to give up? Because it's going to be a hell of a haul for Shohei Ohtani. I mean, I don't know how many guys it's going to take. It might take a record number of prospects. I'm thinking 7, 8, because you're getting 2 players in one, and you're not getting 2 average players. You're getting 2 superstars, and a guy who is just a stud. And I don't know. I mean, do you do that if you're the Mets? Where is that point in the season where you make that decision where it's okay, well, we're not in the division lead, but we're not out of the wild card. Do you have to have a comfortable lead in a wild card spot to make that big splash to go get an Ohtani? Because there've been a lot of rumors about that. And the more and more the Mets are doing like the way the season started out. It didn't seem like they like going into the season rather didn't seem like they really needed him because they won 100-something games last year. They had the same roster. They were looking good. They added, Verlander and everything. So it looked like, okay, we don't maybe need Ohtani. We don't need to go out and make the big splash. But now you're in a situation where you're hovering around 500 and you're like, okay, if we're in a playoff position, I think you have to go get Shohei Ohtani. Because, again, the Mets are not a team like, I don't know, like a team like the Dodgers or a team like the Yankees or a team like the Padres to where, the Dodgers have won a championship. The Yankees have 27 and the Padres have some pretty good offensive pieces as it is. Whereas the Mets are a team that hasn't won in a while, 86, and who is desperate for some starting pitching and stuff from offensive help. So do you go and do you make that splash and then you make the trade, and who do you give up? Who are you willing to give up? That's my question.
And that's the tough part because, if you look at Shohei Ohtani, he's going to cost a lot. And are the Mets going to want to lay out the prospects? You would have to talk about guys like Vientos, Mauricio. I think there's a world where you can keep Beatty and Alvarez.
I don't think you have to give up Beatty because the Angels already have a third baseman.
Beatty and Alvarez, but then we're going to be talking Vientos, Mauricio, Mike Vassell, Calvin Ziegler, Blake Tidwell. A lot, maybe like a Guillorme, a couple bench bats. Nothing crazy when it comes to the.
Well, right now, like your second baseman, what are they doing at second base? They're doing
Mets
tuning.
It's McNeil. Majority of the time, it's McNeil at second. I would say, so far, what is this, game 37? I would say McNeil's probably played second 25 games. And then he's played left and right, scattered between that. But McNeil's the primary second baseman. However, and someone could also quote this, if they call it Mauricio, I wouldn't be against seeing Mauricio, you put it second, and then you put McNeil in left or right, and then you continue to platoon McNeil at second, left, and right, rather than make McNeil a full-time second baseman. Obviously, when the Mets drafted Mauricio, he was a much smaller guy, and obviously, I don't know many, I don't know many third basemen that are, 250 pounds and 6'8" or 6'7", 6'6". He's a big dude, Mauricio.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Do I think Ohtani will? Listen, we could sit on here for days talking about Ken Ohtani, where the Mets, the Giants, the Mariners, the Yankees really stay with the Angels. Are the Angels going to win with Ohtani? Right now, Michael, they're playing decent. They're playing, good to an extent. They started off the same way last year, and then they just fell. And they have a lot of holes, the Angels, obviously, Rendon. But, this is a lineup. The Angels lineup got much better, in my opinion. I think their pitching has somewhat improved compared to last year. But Ohtani to the Mets, we'll see. I think it's a decent thing. I think that's could be a reason why Cohen brought in Epler, because, Epler, last I checked, Epler was the reason the Angels have Ohtani. So, maybe he has that established relationship. Listen, if the Mets get Ohtani, I don't call me crazy. I don't think they would give up a lot. I think they would give up a lot of prospects. I don't know if they give up really anyone at the major league level right now. It would be costly, I think, in terms of the prospects, which that's the only thing that I am a little bit concerned about. Obviously, yes, Ohtani brings a pitcher. He brings a power bat. He brings a lot to this team. So we'll see. But like I said, we could sit on here for hours and talk about Ohtani to the Mets. So we'll definitely have to do that another day. Obviously, Christian will be on plenty of more Mets talk with Hayden Streams. Obviously, a little spoiler alert, him and I will be meeting together this summer. Whatchamacallit, him and I will be going up to his residency up north. Obviously, you guys know I live in Florida, so I'll be going up to Michigan this summer, and we will be going to a Detroit Tigers game, a Chicago Cubs game, a Chicago White Sox game, and 2 Toronto Blue Jays games, and potentially a Guardians game. So definitely, Christian on his channel, he vlogs it. MLB Chatterbox. If you want to put your link in the chat, or I think I actually may. I could do it if you'd like.
Yeah. Let me see.
Actually, yeah, that'd be good. And everyone go subscribe to him. He does great baseball analysis, summaries, all that great stuff. He actually has a video talking about why Pete Alonso should be MVP, so definitely check that one out. An MVP and Nimmo an elite player, so he's very intelligent. I mean, he knows his Mets baseball, of course. Obviously, he's a Tigers fan, but hey, he likes all baseball. So, yeah, if you guys could drop a sub to him, I'm sure.
Why am I not allowed to comment? Let's see.
Oh, you have to go to like the YouTube section. Go to like YouTube.
Oh, I'll go to YouTube. Okay, got it.
Comment it, but if not, I'll do it on my end. If it doesn't work, just let me know. So, if you guys could, definitely, that would be great. Definitely check him out. Very, very, very knowledgeable baseball fan. But yeah, we've had a great attendance this whole stream. We're at 14 viewers, and I don't think the stream has ever dropped below 10 for it all. So I'm very impressed with that. We've been on here for 3 hours, so I really do appreciate you guys in regards to that. Did you post it yet?
Yeah, I did. I posted it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not seeing it. I'll post it for you. But yeah, I will post that for him, probably because it gets weird like that. It doesn't let people like share links on the stuff. But yeah, definitely check him out. He does great MLB content. We'll definitely do.
Yes, I got a documentary.
Yeah, talk about your doc.
So like on my channel, again, I just do basically recaps of all teams pretty much. But I do have a couple documentaries out right now. A couple on Billy Martin. Famous Yankee, A's, Tigers, Rangers manager, and also famous Yankee player, Billy Martin, baseball's bad boy. That is on my channel. Documentary, full-length documentary, about half an hour. Definitely check that out. Also check out another documentary I made on baseball psychopath, Jimmy Piersall, played for the Red Sox in the 1950s. Very interesting story. A movie on him was called Fear Strikes Out, so I would highly recommend that movie as well. And also Roger Maris, a broken legend that is basically going over his entire career, honing in on the 1961 season where he beat Babe Ruth's single season home run record. Of course, was ousted by Aaron Judge last year with 62. But go check out those 3 documentaries. And of course, I daily recap pretty much every other day for all baseball news, not just Tigers, not just Mets, but every and all 30 MLB teams every other day. And again, of course, like Hayden said, vlogs will be coming this summer exclusively on my channel. So if you want to see that, me and Hayden explore the city of Chicago and Toronto and possibly Cleveland. Stay tuned for that. So go hit the red button, go subscribe so you are notified when those vlogs will be coming out probably in July. So yeah. And again, Hayden, I appreciate you having me on. It was fun. Glad the Metropolitans got the dub against the Redlegs here today. Verlander looks sharp. Vintage JV, I would say. For the most part, I know little struggles, but hey, that's what you're going to get from a 40-year-old. You can't have anything better than that. And yeah, we'll see what happens with this Mets squad. Hopefully they can keep their head above water in that division and do some damage down the stretch and into the dog days.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, definitely, like you said, that's a little bit about Christian's channel. He does great work. Definitely recommend check him out. Like you said, he's a Tigers fan, but he talks all baseball, so that's good to see. Very knowledgeable when it comes to the game, very diehard. So check him out. I put the link in the chat, so definitely do that. But yeah, otherwise, I appreciate everybody for tuning in to tonight's stream. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. As always, phenomenal stream. Like I said, the Mets win this ball game 2-1. Pete Alonso, home run. Brandon Nimmo, RBI single. Verlander gets the W. And Mets pitching was able to get the job done. They will play tomorrow at 1 or something. Start. Kodai Senga will be on the bump for tomorrow afternoon. And hopefully the Mets can take the series. So we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, it's a good win tonight, but got to move on. And you got to continue to build off of this and pitch like this and build off of it. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, LFGM, appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you're rewatching this on replay, thank you for watching. But give this video a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and all that great stuff. So otherwise, I appreciate it. Till next time, baseball fans. See ya.